welcome to the Broken Campfire podcast. I'm your host, Andy, and I'm joined by John, Flask, Vito, and Greg, and viewers at home keeping score. That's a 5 out of 5.
Like you should rate us on iTunes.
When's the last time we had everybody
attendance.
here? Been
last week?
30, 40 episodes, right?
Yeah, no, it was last week.
Yeah, we saved Hyrule Kingdom.
No. Last week it was me and Flask doing a little episode called The Batman.
Oh, right. So you guys did that and released that? How'd that go?
I thought it was a good conversation.
It was our most popular episode ever. I think that we got a deal.
Ooh.
Let's check the stats.
We got several deals. Me and Flash got several deals on a couple different shows. You're probably going to branch off.
Screen Rant has expressed interest.
Yeah.
Affleck is pissed.
Affleck is pissed, but that's nothing new.
Matt Damon is actually on board, but he can't like say that publicly because Affleck's pissed. Like it just wouldn't be good optics. Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
What's the joke? The joke here that Ben Affleck is the other Batman.
He did play Batman.
Ben Affleck has played Batman. Yeah.
Can Vin Diesel play me in the documentary?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Just say yes.
I was thinking.
What were you thinking?
What were you thinking? Say it.
What's the guy with the God? Brain fart right now. What's the guy with the crazy eyes?
Steve Buscemi.
Jeff Goldblum.
Steve Buscemi. I was thinking Steve Buscemi.
I was thinking
Steve Buscemi.
What's his name in Nathan for You?
Gary
I thought I was thinking of Nathan.
Nathan Fielder.
Yeah, that's just Greg. I don't know why. He's tall.
I fucking lost the plot. I don't even remember what we were talking about, but welcome
to our hit
friends.
podcast, The Batman. Check it out.
Podcast.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. Hey, I'm sure that podcast was great. Check it out if you've seen HBO's The Badman. It's coming out.
No, not the Badman. That's a different.
Enter the Badlands.
This
the
is
AMC
Batman.
hit.
I'm sorry, I didn't check my notes. You said it's Batsman?
Yeah, no, like the animal. Yeah, I know. It sounds. I know. I know.
All right. You said Batman.
But it's Batman.
All right, that's fine. Whatever. Batman. Okay. Check that pod out. I think it's coming out on streaming next month, and I'm gonna watch it then. I'll wait. I don't need the theater experience. I can wait.
He doesn't need the theater experience. He says, "What a joker."
Guffaw.
Hey, friends. I think we should just start busting into roundtables.
Busted.
We're now, 4 weeks since the release of The Ring?
Oh.
And Flask, you're first up on my list. I think you're totally done.
Oh, I've been done, and therefore I will not talk about Elden Ring this roundtable.
Well, I was just curious because I'm sure I'll touch base with everybody about it. But like, since you finished, are you just what's your temperature? Are you kind of just done, or are you like
taking
a break for the next one? Okay,
I did play 100 and over 120 hours of the game, and I even had started another character, like I said, and just messed around. But that was even before the patch. So now that there's a patch that has changed a bunch of stuff, I'm taking a little break before I dive back into it for like a genuine second run through.
Cool, yeah. But now on to the real stuff you wanted to talk about. What you actually wanted to talk about.
I've got a big weird one today, so I'm just gonna advise you strap in, my friends.
Oh man, finally!
Shouldn't have put me first, you fool.
All right. Good. I was looking for an AFK break somewhere.
Right away, yeah.
Oh, thank God.
First is a correction to a certain claim I made last time.
Oh God, it's the fucking
it's the corrections officer.
Oh, with the stupid hat.
Putting my hat on. Hello.
I told you should have shut that door, Vito.
This is in relation to the claim I made about Harry Potter, like taking the "Which house are you in?" quizzes, which I said always sorted me into Hufflepuff, right?
Oh my fucking God!
I decided to go.
You had to check.
I decided to go and check Pottermore, which I guess has since changed.
You
his
okay?
name,
you okay, corrections officer? You like lonely or something?
Yes, but that's beside the point.
Doesn't want to lie to the viewers.
I don't
Alright,
want to
you just-
mislead the viewers.
He's just
What I mean.
passionate. Okay.
When we're
I'm
mega
passionate about my
huge,
work.
he doesn't want somebody fact checking us and be like, well, actually, you said you were in Hufflepuff. You know, and that's.
But I
that's our
discovered
first-
that you were actually sorted into a different house entirely.
So you're for real though. Also a Ravenclaw.
So I went to Pottermore because I remembered taking that sorting quiz that they have there. Sure enough, I checked my account to find out that I actually had been sorted into Ravenclaw by the most official Potter quiz there is. Yeah, so even though I do value, the honesty and kindness and loyalty and stuff very highly, apparently I'm really jazzed about, the essential truths of the universe.
Look, Hufflepuffs out
And
there, you might
insane
want to
trivia.
close your ears for the next 20, 30 seconds or so, but I got something to say. Maybe being real smart, real book smart or whatever, is the way to get into Ravenclaw. Just like being real dumb is the way to get into Hufflepuff. Whereas we think it's about friendliness, but it's also just that maybe just there's a correlation there,
You belong in Slytherin.
I'm just saying, Flash, maybe you're not dumb enough to
You're
be a
changing
Hufflepuff.
houses.
I don't think you would have to be dumb to be in Hufflepuff. I think you could be smart in Hufflepuff. You just value those, those traits more. Those things about, the human experience.
Yeah, whatever. Sounds like some
Here.
dumb weak
Hufflepuff
logic to me. Yeah, definitely.
Um,
You sure you're Ravenclaw? It sounds like some Hufflepuffian rhetoric.
Hufflepuff rhetoric. I like that.
Some Hufflepuffian.
Yeah. And it makes sense, I'm a trivia guy, but I'm cool with it. Apparently, Ravenclaw Tower has a really nice view of the grounds of Hogwarts, so it's a good place to read, which I do love doing.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, that's me. I'm a Ravenclaw. Who'd have
Got the
thunk?
quad.
I got the Claude. The first thing I actually want to talk about that I did, something that I had done a couple weeks back. I read a manga.
Manga?
Called-
Manga? Who
Yeah,
said
one of
manga?
them.
Among Us.
A Japanese comic book
One Piece.
called Alice in Borderland.
That's not it. That's a
Alice in
video game,
Borderland.
dude.
No,
I've heard about this.
Yeah, and I also watched its television adaptation, of which there is currently one season. It's on Netflix. It's about a guy who gets transported from normal Tokyo to like a strange, mostly abandoned Tokyo, where where
Hang on, stick with me.
it's like a Tokyo that has been like overgrown and stuff, and seems like it's been abandoned for a long time.
Turned out it's just nighttime.
Oh my god! I've been transported to another world.
He just
so
falls
dark
asleep
here.
at a weird time. He just naps a couple hours.
I'm never gonna get back home, am I? But yeah, so he and other similarly confused people are forced to play death games, of
Oh
course,
fuck!
of a bunch of different varieties for an unknown purpose. So its main thrust is figuring out what each game is, what they're really all about, and how to survive them. So the manga was pretty good. It was, I think, at its best when it was, indulging cleverly in its game's premise. So when you're in the thick of it, you're having fun puzzling out the rules and the hidden agenda of each game. So, like, just as an example, a minor game spoiler: 5 people get on individual window cleaning lifts, and they have to answer trivia questions. But they have to vote with either the majority or the minority from a survey for each of those questions. A survey that was apparently taken about the answer to those questions.
It's that game that I like, and you guys, it's espionage. That game you guys hate.
Oh, is it? I played that,
Pretty
right?
much. It's a Jackbox game, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Ridiculed and fucking they chased me with torches when I said espionage is pretty solid. It's threatening to kill
It's
me.
solid.
So maybe
Some
you should
people,
read this
some people
manga.
threaten to kill me.
It's not my
But I
favorite
stuck with it.
game from Jackbox, but I like espionage. Well,
Yeah, we got to play it once.
um,
Sorry.
maybe next stream. So yeah, it's like that, and the goal is to get your lift to the top with correct answers by voting with either the majority or minority. So wrong answers send you down and eventually send you plummeting down to your death. And of course, there's a hidden mechanic in which the game discreetly registers if you manage to deceive your fellow players into voting incorrectly, and awards you bonus points for doing that. So it's not just what you know or can guess, it's how well you can manipulate the other players. Anyway, that's just an example of one of the many games in this storyline. Just to give you an idea of like what we're dealing with here, there's always some like second layer to the games. So I do feel like the manga gets a little preachy at times, as manga tend to do. But it certainly had something to say. I wasn't thrilled by the ending, and I would say it made less and less sense the more I thought about it. It's also one of those endings that retroactively, I think, damages certain character and plot movements throughout the story. But I do think it was also thematically fitting. I'm personally unsatisfied by the type of ending it was, but I could definitely see others being satisfied enough by it. Anyway, I'm trying to be vague because it's the ending I'm talking about, but
yeah,
for people who out there who are interested in Alice in Borderlands, they'll know.
I feel like I just from knowing what type of story this is and your consternation, I feel like I know what the ending is now, which I'm not going to.
Do you want to try to guess it, and I'll bleep it if it's correct in the final episode?
It was nighttime, dude.
It was nighttime all along.
The people running the game are players, either past or current.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm not going to say whether it's correct or not, but
I guess I'll listen to the podcast and hear if that's bleeped.
God, we got to bleep that whole thing now.
I feel like that's like vague enough that, you know, I don't know.
And maybe even the main character is a game master but doesn't know it or something.
Oh, sure, yeah. All right.
It's yeah. I'm basically Maze Runner did that whole thing, and just the way that you described that reminds me of how like 17 or 18-year-old me felt when I finished the Maze Runner trilogy.
Oh, I get you.
Or at least the first book, or I don't know, I can't remember.
I watched the movies for some reason years ago, and I don't even remember what the deal is with the
I read
Maze
them
Running.
as a young adult when they were like coming out as young adult books.
Didn't really blow you away.
The concept is very cool.
Yeah.
But the games and stuff, like you said, like the games and like the fun and the cleverness of the idea, I very much enjoyed. But it was the fabric,
the context.
The context was kind of ruined the whole thing for me, in a sense.
Yeah, ain't that always the way? Or very often.
It is. I mean, the idea is always fun, but then it's like, all right, well, we have to figure out a reason why like 8 people are playing death games with each other.
Yeah. Usually, you would assume that the author has the idea for death games first because they want to make cool games, and then they have to construct a world and a reason for it to be happening.
That's why it's always so disappointing in a sense when you get to the end of these things, is because like the story is like just so contrived, and like they almost never make sense in a real way because the absurdity of the premise is, you know, it's absurd. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I do say for Alice in Borderland, the ending makes sense. It's like self-consistent. It's just I don't like this type of ending. So, you know, I think, but I've seen people online saying like, "Oh, I love this ending. It was so impactful to me." I'm like, okay, I get you. You know, I'm with you. I'm just not actually with you. Anyway, so I watched the show too, and as I said, only one season so far. Pretty good adaptation actually, which is always a nice surprise to see. Moves at a pretty good pace, which is, I think, critical. And it covers about as much of the story as I might have expected it to. So it's like right on, you know, on pace, on track. And they do change some things. So while it's not perfect, I don't know. There are some unnecessary omissions that I really question. And there are some times when the emotional highs become a little dragging as I don't know, Asian shows or whatever tend to do sometimes. It's just like, okay, we understand that the characters are going through some shit. but it tends to take a while. I guess they like that kind of thing. But often enough that the minor changes are actually for the better in the show, and it hits the points it needs to hit. So I'm looking forward to season 2 now. And that's Alice in Borderland. I think it's good enough to check out for the.
Would you have
game
preferred
content.
if it was a tie-in story named Alice in Borderlands?
Oh, to Gearbox's Borderlands?
Would that have been better or worse for you?
Absolutely worse.
Interesting.
Can't remember, Flask. Have you seen or watched the Kaiji Ultimate Survivor?
Interesting.
I haven't, no, but it's one of those that's just like been on my list for a long time.
Yeah, it just made me think of this because most of it's just about him playing these games. Although that show's more about like gambling, or gambling,
grounded
games,
gambling
sort
stuff,
of,
right? Yeah.
Although they get pretty crazy later on too. But yeah, I mean, I think similar style. At least it sounds like.
Yutaka Yamada.
What?
Just a fun name. That's the name of the composer of the thing. Apparently, I was just reading about the show.
Huh.
Read, everybody. Let him showing off.
So, Greg,
Big
you
man
never
on campus.
You never looked into Alice in Borderland at all, just to confirm.
Me? No.
Yeah. Okay.
No. It looks.
I
the art reminds me of this one old manga I used to read. I don't remember the name of it, but it had to do with like little explosives. Like it's kind of like Bomberman.
Okay.
And it was basically just like a battle royale game, but they use like little bombs to blow shit up. Art style
like
familiar.
They just like kicked them towards each other.
No, they were these things. I'll look for it and I'll show you later. But basically, everyone had different bombs and they had like special abilities. Like one guy's bomb, you could like stare like through it, and it would target you, and you would throw it, and it would track to you.
All right. Well, for the viewer's sake, I'll have to.
No, they were doing it. So, I gotta look into it because I really don't remember it fully. But it was like if someone hated you, they could sign you up and to this, and people would kidnap you, and you had to fight a bunch of other people that got signed up to go there.
It's pretty good. Got him.
I'll have to, for the viewer's sake, I'll have to insert the name of that once you.
It was called Btooom.
Oh, okay. The Tomb?
Btooom. Btoo.
Oh. Interesting.
Tomba?
Okay.
Yeah,
Tomba, yeah.
You got it.
When are we getting a Tomba remake, guys?
When the heck?
What is that?
Or just make it playable. I think you can play it if you have the PS3 through backwards compatibility, but not on the PS4 and onwards.
Or if you're strong enough to emulate.
I'm not.
Anywho.
Yeah, what else we got?
As far as games, I have an interesting little it's not little. I have an interesting segment here.
There's
I think sorry, what?
No, I was just saying you're gaming, you're a gamer.
Yeah. I am. Because I bought the itch.io bundle for Ukraine, which was around recently, and I had previously bought the racial justice and equality bundle that they did a while back, and those are hundreds of games, so I decided to try out a few of them that I have. So I'm just gonna rattle through these because there's whether I completed all these is irrelevant because I at least got the gist of all of them, and I'm not gonna bother mentioning how simple any of these games are because they are almost universally simple, and that in comparison to studio games. So if anything, I'd mention the opposite if they're more than the sum of their parts or whatever, more than simple. Anyway, let's begin. Hidden Folks, which is a colorless Where's Waldo with vocal noises for sound effects.
Lazy,
it's
next.
fairly lazy.
Colorless? Sorry.
Got him.
Oh yeah, actually that's a point. So it's fairly cute, but I do wish there was color. But I guess that's it's like a vibe to have it be black and white. But the one thing it does have on the static books is that there's little animations happening all over. So that's something, right?
Oh, cool. Apparently Tim Cook from Apple says, I'm sure my niece will spend many hours in this game.
In Hidden Folks.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good
I can believe
endorsement, though.
Yeah. I can believe it. It's one of those games that you definitely can just kind of zone out and look around in. What'd you say, John? What was the last thing you said?
No, I'm just saying that's a good endorsement. Tim Cook says your game's pretty solid. I mean, that's,
Yeah.
what more do you want?
What more could you ask for? The next game, Inbento, which is a puzzle game where you arrange sets of food blocks into a bento box.
That sounds
like
nice.
a Japanese bento box. In the arrangement the game asks for. It's just, little puzzle game.
Tetris
Not much to it.
adjacent, sort of.
Yeah, except there's no like time crunch or anything like that. There's no like descending blocks. They're just literally, it asks you put the blocks in the box in this order, and you just, not in the order, but like in this configuration, and you just figure out how to accomplish that because there's certain rules you have to abide by. Golf Peaks, which is you're trying to get a golf ball in a hole, of course, and you have a set of movement count cards each level to spend on the path to the hole. So you have to figure out the direction and the order in which to spend the movement cards so that you can land on the whole space. Because it's like squares that you're moving across with the number of movement in each card. Anyway,
Sounds fun.
yeah. So I like this loop a bit more than Inbento, I would say, and I think they're made by the same people, but that's just personal preference. And it's golfy. You're just like little, I don't know, like diorama things in the void, just trying to get your golf ball in the hole. MacBat 64, MACBAT 64. It's a 3D platformer collectathon.
Hang on, Flask. I thought we already talked. No, sorry, that was Bat Mac, right? That's the
Bat Mac, the Bat Mac,
sorry.
which came out.
No. I just want to make a note. That's a Batman.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
ManBat.
That's you were
All
there.
right,
You know better.
So Flash, this game you're playing, it was called Man-Bat, right? It was like
Yes.
reverse.
I love
ManBat.
ManBat.
he is a scientist who is transformed into a man-bat forcibly against his will.
Isn't that literally Batman?
No. This is Man-Bat, one of
it's not
Batman's
against his will
foes
in
and
Batman.
friends.
Batman does it willingly.
Yeah, Batman just puts on
Oh.
a suit. Man-Bat transforms like a werewolf into a Batman.
Does Man-Bat have to be really angry like Batman?
No,
Does
it
he
kind of
have
just
to be?
no, it kind of just
No.
happens.
Is he?
Is Batman angry?
He's pissed.
I thought he was
Oh,
sad.
he's pissed. No, he's
I
pissed
thought
in
Batman
hell.
was sad. Oh shit!
No, that's where he gets his powers from.
Yeah, you don't
I
get
thought he
it.
was the sad man.
He's the Bat. God damn it, guys! He's the Batman. I'm not saying it again.
It's just too hard.
None of us have
Like
listened to the pod,
Batman.
so we're a little behind.
Oh, you got me.
MacBat 64, 3D platformer collectathon. It's like a low rent, like Conker's Bad Fur Day or Banjo Kazooie. And the best part is probably that you can flap around and essentially fly for a while. So the movement.
So you are a Batman.
Fun. You are a bat. You're just a bat. You're a cartoon bat.
Jersey
I would say-
Devil style, huh?
Jersey Devil's
And I
a
would say-
goat, isn't it?
What?
Sorry, John said something about the Jersey Devil. I thought a Jersey Devil was like a goat man.
Oh,
Oh,
dude, you ever played that game? He's definitely not a goat.
No.
but he's not strictly a bat either. I recall.
No, he's not.
I knew a guy online once who his family was interviewed for a sighting of the Jersey Devil for
I
a
don't
TV
believe
show.
that real.
For a TV show. Yeah, like one of those like stupid bullshit ghost hunter type shows. His
Yeah.
family was like interviewed.
You mean
'Cause they said-
real
'cause
life
they-
reality, bro?
Yeah.
What they say is that we've seen him around the corner. We were going to the party store and we ain't seen a dang old.
Yeah,
Jersey
more
Devil.
or less, and then there was like a pan over with like hoofs in the backyard and shit. Hoof prints.
I hope we have to fight whatever Detroit's crypto monster is when we go on the vacation.
So
It's
Flask,
just, it's just man.
Yeah, what do we have?
what? Sorry, let's get back on topic. Flask, what
Yeah,
did you
sorry,
think of?
sorry.
What did you think of Jersey Devil?
How dare you, first of all. Second of all, MacBat is a small blue bat with a monocle on. So get the fucking Jersey Devil out of the fuck here.
All right, he's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I would say the worst part about the game is, if you can forgive any other jank, that is probably the very stiff camera, which, you know, granted, may be period accurate, but still kind of annoying. But yeah, you know, it's a cute, short, nostalgic platformer in the vein of those games I said. I liked it. Speed Dating for Ghosts, which is a visual novel game about speed dating ghosts.
All right, now you got me interested.
Now, see, yeah, it sounds better than it is, right? It doesn't have very notable presentation, honestly, which is the only thing that might entice me to a game like this. So it ends up being kind of like not really that great. I didn't get very far in it. I was like, oh yeah, I get it. Deppaneur Nocturne, which is a little shopping expedition in a Montreal curiosity shop where there might be some secrets. And it's a pretty smooth package for what it is. It's a nice little, very short if you just like go directly to the mission critical ending thing. But like if you poke around, you can you know have a little experience. Hiding Spot, which is an isometric puzzle game where you move boxes into place to close yourself into a hiding spot in a room. Like you just crouch in like a corner and pull a box to hide yourself.
From what?
I didn't really care for the controls.
Just from the world.
So just from the world, man.
Like there's not like a guy watching for you, like
You never just wanted to hide, Andy?
dude, all the time.
Hide from everything?
Every day, all the time.
Yeah, no, it's just a series of levels in which it's different configurations of like furniture and boxes, and then you just have to find the spot where you can pull the boxes into the right configuration to hide yourself or like close yourself off. That's fine. Well, then don't play hiding.
How are you? I'm looking at this this bundle.
Yeah,
this is the right one, right? 998 items for $10.
Yeah.
First of all, that's a pretty sweet deal. How are you choosing which ones you end up playing? Because there's just so much shit here.
Well, first of all, to be fair, they're not all games. Some of the stuff is assets and software and stuff like that. Most of them are games. And the way I'm choosing the way I did choose is there's a site. I forget the name of it, but there's a site. I don't think it's like official, where you can go and sort the bundles. And you can sort them by all sorts of different filters.
Okay.
I'll try to find it.
Because I do see very few, but they are good games that I know of. Like that Super Hot in here. You got Baba Is You.
Okay, I found it. Sorry. Yeah, randombundlegame.com. Randombundlegame.com is a bundle browser where you can browse any one of the itch.io bundles, buy a ton of different filters, and basically what I did was sorted them by like rating. There's Steam rating, SteamDB rating, popularity, stuff like that. I sorted them by the ones that were like, these are good games, you know.
That's great. Yeah, because there's just so much stuff. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I was not expecting that filter.
That's great.
So yeah, that's a cool way to do it. So I got a ton of games. Like I'm not even going to list them all. Or I should say I'll list the ones I played, but like I'm not even going to list all the ones I have yet to play either. Next game, GNOG, GNOG. It is a colorful puzzle game where you solve little vignettes by clicking and pulling on stuff. Just kind of whatever you see and feel. I don't know. You don't get any direction in this game. And the art style is like that kind of flat.
I played this
rounded.
on the PlayStation.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I think it has like a VR version of it, if I remember correctly.
That might add something to it.
Might be crazy though. But this looks very, very familiar.
Okay. No. The art style is kind of that flat, rounded, shapy, like, I don't want to say corporate style, but it I don't know. This kind of art style always reminds me of like not creativity for some reason. So this I don't know. This one didn't really hit for me for that reason and for the reason of absolutely no direction. I was just like clicking on things and pulling on things at pretty much random until I figured out like, oh, it wants me to pull on this specific thing in this direction or whatever. I don't know. I only got a couple levels in and I was like, nah, not for me. Cloud Gardens, which I don't even know that I'd call this a puzzle game, but you are working towards a completion goal. So I guess you're making plants grow over these little urban dioramas by like throwing seeds and trash objects onto surfaces in the dioramas. And that sounds like it requires further clarification, but no, that's actually just what you're doing. You're just throwing seeds and trash until, I mean, you have to you learn like
takes.
Yeah, until something takes. Essentially, you have to learn like how to cultivate the growth of the plants from the seeds that you throw, and the trash makes them grow more. So there's like a little element of figuring it out, but it's mostly just a very chill puzzle experience. Fatum Betula, I want to say, Fatum Betula. Fatum Betula is a PS1 graphics style first-person walk-around game. It's got that the dreamlike, nightmarish kind of style, and it's obtuse in a way that I didn't have much patience for, honestly. Part of it is that it used this intentionally broken texture mapping effect on everything at one point that I really disliked looking at. Like that thing that happens when you when something glitches out and certain surfaces get mapped with the wrong texture, so the texture is like sliding across the models and the environment. Yeah, it was doing that on purpose on every single surface, which, as you can imagine, is just really like annoying to look at. Just very irritating to look at. So I didn't get far in Fatum Betula. Toree 3D, Toree, which is made by the same dev as MacBat 64, and it's another 3D N64 style platformer. And this time it's linear levels where you collect lines of collectibles, like a kind of like a 3D Sonic game, and you're timed and scored on that time. So you get a letter score for the amount of time you take, and it's cute. It's got a little creepypasta to your unsettlement that crops up. I didn't enjoy the game as much as MacBat, I would say, just because of there's like some bullshit jumps it has in some places, but still another short experience. So like, you know, you're not gonna spend very long on it. It's gonna be cute. It's gonna be fun. GigaBit is an extremely simplistic and short 3D 2D side-scrolling platformer. And this one was
you could have been like a bad bitch running through just straight fucking destroying stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Is it like 124 megabytes?
No.
Yikes.
Go on.
Yeah.
But it was made in 16 days for a game jam. And I'm honestly not sure why I downloaded this one. I guess something I saw about it on its store page looked enticing, but irritating music, first of all, and you stick to walls awkwardly in like a very rough feeling way. It's a feature according to the developer, but it's not. It doesn't feel like one. It feels like you're just getting stuck on walls as you try to jump past them. But it's a game jam project, so it was made in 2 weeks. So I'm not gonna, and it's extremely short. So I finished it, but it's like, yeah, nothing much to that. Midnight Scenes, episodes 1 and 2. These are two really short adventure game vignettes. And they're just like little Twilight Zone inspired stories to click through and solve. They're nice enough. Well done for what they are. And then the last one I'll talk about, Hypnagogia, Boundless Dreams. Hypnagogia, which I believe is the word for the state between sleep and wakefulness or something like that. Yeah, Hypnagogia.
Is a trippy looking.
Yeah. It's a first-person 3D platformer with a lowish poly 5th or 6th gen aesthetic, and it's a number of different levels, each with their own theme, and it's very well presented actually. The substance, like the platforming itself, is fairly shallow, but certainly pleasant, and especially to me. Lots of clear homages to other games. If you play through it, you'll definitely see stuff you recognize. It's just a dreamy experience, or it gets nightmare-y later, of course, but that's what it's going for. That another kind of dreamlike game, and it's impressive for having been almost entirely made by one person. Like, he did pretty much everything. In fact, if I was going to recommend one game from this entire list, it would probably be this Hypnagogia. But that doesn't, impugn on the fun of the other ones I liked. It's just, this one's probably my favorite of the bunch here.
Flask, have you played? I'm looking at the list. Have you played Baba Is You yet?
I have, yeah, a while back.
I was gonna recommend that because I like that game a lot. It's a nice.
I never finished it because it frustrated me. Like, I was. Granted, if I had kept at it and kept hitting my head against the wall, I'm sure I could have gotten through it. But I eventually did give up because I was like, "What is the cost benefit analysis here?" Because
I get you.
What is it? Is it? I reached a point where I wasn't sure that I was having fun any longer, and whenever that happens in a game, I really have to, analyze, reflect on what I'm doing and if it's worth my time. For me, other people might be like, "Oh, I really just, getting through that next puzzle is gives me that feeling of exhilaration or satisfaction." Not so much for me.
I feel you.
If it's that making me feel dumb.
Another one, if you haven't played, Don't Escape, 4 Days to Survive. I've played that one. That's a good game. I like that. I haven't heard of that.
What is it? Do you know?
That is, you basically you got 4 days to survive the world being destroyed.
Okay. What's like the what?
It's like
what
perspective? It's like a point. But it's like a point and click game.
Oh, okay, cool.
And you just try to survive 4 days.
All right. Yeah, there's a bunch more that I'm looking to play. So this isn't over. This isn't over. I'll return next episode with reinforcements.
Somebody stop him.
You can't stop me. I have too many games. I've bought too many.
I was hoping you had checked out Paradise Killer on the Game Pass.
Not yet. I did one of those things where I started, or I looked at the bundle and I was like, oh, maybe I'll download a few of these for later. But then I checked out one, and then I checked out another one because they're also short. They're all such concise experiences that I ended up just assembling this very robust list of games that I've checked out.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I decided to just make it my thing for this episode that I had done.
Good deal for a good cause.
Yeah, and there is there was overlap between the two bundles, of course, because a lot of the same developers would add their games to multiple bundles, of course, but still hundreds of games to choose from.
Yeah, let me know how on the next pod how Democratic Socialism Simulator is.
I will.
I happened to, while looking at these things as you described him, and on this bundle browser, I noticed some of the prices of these assets. Man,
oh, yeah.
I'm not saying that it's not a fair price. I just didn't expect assets to cost this much. 10 fantasy pixel human village characters, $30.
Jeez.
But hang on, Pixel 50 16-bit designer fantasy models, $200.
I don't know what the economy of game assets is.
Yeah.
I don't know what to compare those to.
But I mean, they look like high quality assets. They look really nice. And I'm sure the guy worked hard on them. Is all you got, Flask?
That's me.
Have we reached the end of the itch.io packs?
We have. For now.
Cool. For now. I mean, you had like 100 games or 1,000 games there, so you got plenty of content. Well, I think we'll just go ahead and stroll right on to John, who, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you have some real games to discuss.
What?
Well, I wouldn't put too much stock in me.
Okay, I won't.
All right, you know what? Just shut the whole thing down.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, cut it off. Done. But in case we're not done, I'm still gonna do this next part. In case.
And by that I mean Elden Ring. I really just wanted to hear your progress on Elden Ring.
I haven't started it yet.
I think. Okay, well, you promised more than that.
I don't recall that. Oh,
you were supposed to be Elden Lord by now.
Definitely don't recall that. I didn't play it, and I never will. And every day I don't play it, I get a little bit more thankful. But I have been playing.
Who are you thinking?
The real game of the year, even though it came out. Dude, can you believe this game came out? I believe my math is correct here. I think it came out 4 years ago. I was playing Red Dead. Started the single player up today. Well, I started yesterday, I guess.
Red Dead Redemption 2?
Yeah. Well, come on now. You know Red Dead 1 didn't come out 4 years ago. It came out like 104 years ago.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Came out 8 years ago, John. Come on.
But I was having a good time. I was typing in the chat earlier, and I was talking to somebody. You know, we played so much of the online of that game. I really forgot. I don't know, just how good it looks, how good it feels, like playing the actual single player, and how much they like just
how live it is.
Totally shit on the online and cut it down to the bare minimum. I mean, the graphics are worse, the animations are cut and like faster, which I can understand because it's online. I mean, the animation part at least. All the clothes actually like fit, Arthur. They're not just like hanging off of him or clipping through him. Same with the hairstyles. The weather effects are in the game. Cool ambient music. I mean, it just reminded me of why I like the game so much in the first place. That's just what I've been doing the last. I mean, I started yesterday. I really haven't been playing shit. That's what I picked up. That's what I plan on doing the next week or so.
Hell cool. Yeah, dude. Cool. Me and Noxel, I'll let Noxel know. We'll play some Red Dead Online.
No, I don't want to ever play that again. Never.
So it sounds like it sort of restored your,
stand and shake.
I don't know what to call it. Your respect for the game, remembering what it was actually, why you actually were drawn to the game in the first place.
Yeah, it looks so much better than that smelly fucking Elden Ring. Every time you see him
really
play, I'm like, he's so dumb, dude. Look, I had to run around with little dumb swords going, I'm gonna get the Elden Ring. And it's like, all right, one shotty to the face, I'd be blowing anybody out there out the water. Go ahead, send him a dragon. The dragon can take some buckshot, slug right to the eyeball. I don't.
Slug right to the head? I don't think so. I agree.
And if it does, guess what? I got dynamite, bud.
Damn it! He's got us. We can't argue with that logic.
They don't even have a train in Elden Ring.
They don't even have a train.
Fuck.
I don't even. Do they have steam technology? Like, what? Are you guys in the fucking Stone Age or something? What is going on?
Yeah, yes. Everything's like ropes and pulleys. There's no steam or nothing.
Yeah, I rest my case. Yeah, that's really all I've been doing this week, though.
That's one of the games. I mean, that's one of my favorite games of all time. And there's definitely a list of games that I want to replay so bad because they deserve it and I would enjoy it. But there's just so many games out there that like I feel guilty. We still gotta beat Cuphead. I gotta beat Hades. I gotta beat Yakuza.
Yeah.
Still gotta beat Elden Ring. Elden Ring's another game that like once I'm done with it, I'm gonna want to play it again. But I know me, and I'm probably gonna move on to something else just because. Life's short. I want to play more games. I want to experience more games.
Oh, I smell you.
So that was it for you,
I'm glad
John?
that you're replaying Red Dead. I get to watch you.
Yeah, I'm digging it.
Does Red Dead Redemption 2 have a pizza cutter in it?
Is Elden Ring?
Yes.
Not a real one. They just call it that.
Big spoilers for me, bud.
Yeah, wow. Big spoilers. There's giant pizza in the game. I'll just move on before something else gets ruined for him.
All right.
I'm so sorry about the pizza.
That's all you
spoiler.
got, John.
It's like I didn't even know about the Chuck E. Cheese dungeon.
Why would you talk about that? Jesus Christ.
That's like getting in his head.
I need
It's
to
like to
leave.
see him angry.
I finished the Elden Ring. Thoughts to come on that. The upcoming podcast. After that, just been kind of bouncing around between a couple different things. Some of you may know I started a run of Twilight Princess. I spent 30, 45 minutes. I spent 30, 45 minutes playing. I haven't spent a whole lot of time with it yet. I've played through that game when it came out, but
I was going to ask, yeah, okay.
Yeah. For some reason,
Well,
it came up in conversation the other day, and it just sounded really good to play. Before I knew it, I was playing it. B-Man was watching me, so my Link is named B-Man. My horse is named Mana.
That should serve you well.
nice.
Only real on the Xboxers will know, but I asked B-Man what to name the horse, and he said Bianca. And I was like, I'm not going to do that, but as a punishment for that suggestion, I'm naming it Mana.
So you are going to act like the Link from the adventure book we played, right? The game book?
Yeah, basically. That's who I
Shadow
think
Prince.
I am in my head.
Okay.
I haven't
become
got
useless and play your way through victory.
Honestly, like, I don't know how you fix this problem in games, but it's like every game needs to be made with a guy who has been playing games for 20 years in mind. Like, the biggest thing that bounced me off of Twilight Princess is that, like, the feeling. Well, I'm going to go back to it, but, like, at the time was like the feeling like, man, I got to go to bed in like an hour. I'm not even going to be able to do anything cool because I have, like, open world tutorial bullshit to do before I can play the real game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Every game is like
What
that. I don't know how you.
What
don't
part are
have
you
that.
at, if you don't mind me asking? Because
Oh,
you
I'm
said
still
you're like
the-
really early on. So,
Yeah, I'm
so
still.
I was like,
I'm before the town gets ravaged by whatever happens. So before you become a wolf or anything like that.
gotcha.
So, this is one of those like interesting but not interesting things. I have never fully played through Twilight Princess, and I always meant to at some point, and just it's one of those that just always was in my backlog and not in my hands.
Mm-hmm.
A while back, I did play through like up until the point where you become a wolf, and then I got distracted by something and didn't go back to it. And I was like, "Damn it!" I was like on it. I was doing it, and then I got distracted. So I've had it again in my backlog. Like it's been in my immediate backlog for a while as I've played other games, which doesn't make any sense. So it's just interesting that all of a sudden it's one of those interesting, not interesting things because all of a sudden you're playing this. I'm like, oh, now you're playing it. So that is like
Further
it's been on
pressure.
my immediate list.
That's cool.
I'm happy you guys are playing Twilight Princess. I like Twilight Princess a lot. It's one of the
Yeah,
better
you know,
Zelda games.
I don't think it's my favorite Zelda game, but it's a really good one, and I love the dungeon design of the game. At least I remember liking it 10 years ago. I'm interested to see if my opinion still is the same. But I did love that, like, whenever I played it. Or I'm thinking of like the Ice Mansion in particular was a really cool one for me.
Yeah, that one's really good.
Beyond Twilight Princess, I've been playing more.
Wait, real quick.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just thought of the ultimate question for you. Imp Midna or real true form Midna?
I don't remember what true form Midna looks like, but
Okay, never mind.
Let me grab it.
Okay, Greg.
all right, I'll wait.
It was a joke question anyway, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. But I don't
was it?
remember what she looks like. Oh, true form for sure.
Not into short stacks.
But Imp Midna's like a little goblin. She's so funny.
It is
I
fun.
love Imp Midna.
I do prefer Midna, I guess. I haven't even met Midna in my game though. yet.
Oh, okay.
You're just a dumb sheep herder, bro.
More substantially, I've been playing Subnautica.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I can find the vibe, I'm enjoying the game. I'm constantly, of course, butting up against the. Am I really having fun? Do I really like crafting? Am I really enjoying some of this? But I find things to keep me interested and entertained. The game is considerably more jank than I expected, based on how glowingly people talk about this game. But there's a lot of it that's like, how have I not heard about this game? Like the fact that like twice now I've lost like an hour and a half of progress because of weird save issues and also just not having an autosave at all in any way, which is ridiculous, like insane.
I don't remember running into issues like that. I played all the way through it, and I don't remember stuff like janky and save issues and stuff. Maybe I'm just remembering it with like rose-tinted glasses or something, but I don't remember that happening to me.
So every single time I load, I'm inside my base, but the game thinks I'm underwater. We've had like numerous types of like little technical issues like that here and there. But I'm enjoying the exploration. The water stuff is cool. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm more middling on it than I thought. I'm not a big crafty type of guy typically. I think it's like feelings like I get a cool idea, like, oh man, that's a cool place to make my main base. I want to rebuild my main base there. And then it's like, oh, okay, I need lead. Well, I got to get lead by bashing random rocks and hoping that one of them has lead. And it's like, okay, well, I've spent 20 minutes gathering a bunch of resources that I'll probably need later, but I don't need now, and I still don't have lead. I don't know. I don't like feelings like that. Especially when intrinsically it's not like it's very interesting gameplay loop for me. Especially because if, like I said, you're trying to build a base, it's not like you're wanting to go super far out for materials. You're mostly looking in your immediate area. So yeah, I'm enjoying it, but I couldn't tell you yes or no about whether I'm going to finish this game.
Yeah, I don't really like crafting either as a mechanic, but I stuck with it in Subnautica because I really liked the environment and the world and the progression of how you progress through the game. Just like the feeling that it instilled within me.
Maybe I just need to do more progression to see the point of it all.
I would recommend it because like if you can stand dealing with the crafting stuff that you have to do, I think there will be experiences down the line that any gamer would enjoy and appreciate.
All right, cool. That's all I've been doing game-wise. Like you kind of said, Flask, I put a considerable amount of time in Elden Ring. So I finished it and kind of
we'll never have to hear about it again.
Almost forcing myself to not play it as much because like I still have ideas of what stuff I want to do, but I know if I just keep going, I'll get burnt out. So taking a little spacer.
Did you say you started a new run or
oh yeah, I should have mentioned that. Me and Greg have started co-op characters.
The greatest run known to man.
Yeah, characters that we're not playing except with each other for the most part. I think Kurt is also in that camp, but I get the feeling that Kurt got a little ahead of himself and he's done other things with that character now, but I don't know. We'll see.
He also NG plus the game like 3 times, right?
Yeah. Kurt got like all the achievements by like a week in the game.
God. My God.
I do think that is a fun challenge I intend to do. It's not even really a challenge. It's just being in the game a couple more times at this point. But getting all the achievements, just to say I did. I do really like this game. And I do want to see the other endings. I've only seen one of them so far.
Right. I feel kind of bad because I did want to like, have a fun co-op run with you guys. But every time I thought about like, I'll make a new character, join them, I was like, I could play something else right now after playing 120 hours of Elden Ring.
Well, here's the thing though, is that like it's not like we're trying to beat the game. We're just kind of playing the game. So we have not done a whole lot of stuff.
Okay.
We've done like 2 bosses, if anything, I think.
I think a little bit more than that, but like maybe like 6 or 7 bosses around Limgrave and the Weeping Peninsula.
Really? Damn.
Yeah, like we've cleared out 3 or 4
All
caves
I
by
remember is
now.
us doing like maybe I guess you're right. I was forgetting about the caves. I was thinking more like the one mine we did and like
and we cleared
one
out
other
Castle
area.
Morn.
Oh yeah, shit, you're right.
Have you guys progressed past the first like major boss?
No,
We have not.
Oh, okay.
we
So maybe I would still.
we went there like pretty early.
Yet.
We went there pretty low level, and like we could clearly win if we kept trying it, but we were just like, I mean, why? Like, let's just run around and have fun, do other things for now. Like, no need to beat it.
If you want Flask, when you're ready to play, I will make another character. I guess I can make a faith class.
Well, we could just catch him up to our co-op run.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could just join me and kill stuff with me if you want.
We could always make it like a bouncing run between the 4 of us and whoever wants to join. I'm free after this podcast, so I know you might have to go to bed, Greg.
Yeah, I'll be done.
All right. Very quickly, because I've been taking a lot of time not saying a whole lot. I'd just like to say I've watched the Righteous Gemstones, most of season 2, but all season 1. Flask, have you seen that show?
I have not.
John, you have.
Yes.
I kind of already let the cat out of the bag about my thoughts about the show, but I'm enjoying it a lot, most overall, but I'm continually like tonal whiplash. And I see like some critics are saying it's like really good tonal whiplash, and I'm not saying I disagree. Maybe I do. It's just it's weird. The expectations of the show, or my expectations for the show versus what the show is totally not lining up, and it never is. You know what I mean? And I don't know whether that's good or bad yet. I guess I'm still watching it, and I need to digest it a bit more.
I do actually feel like I know what you mean with the tonal whiplash. Like that it might not be impacting you the same way that it's impacting other people.
Well, it's things like some thematical whiplash here. I don't think this is really any spoilers for the show, but the show's about this family who runs a mega church headed by John Goodman, and his children who are all kind of fucked up in their own little ways, neurotic or abrasive, etc. And they're like a super rich, greedy megachurch family, but the show doesn't want to be about megachurches. It just wants to use the megachurch as a setting. So like the simple fact of like he's a priest, the character Eli genuinely seems to be a good guy who like genuinely believes in God. And maybe he has his greed about him, but like you don't really get the feeling that like the show is ever going to confront him other than like making little snide comments here and there. And you get the feeling that like Eli is, I don't know, it's weird. Like Danny McBride has said this about the show specifically, that the show is about family and their dynamic, which is fine. It's just really gets to the point where I'm like begging the question, like, when is the other shoe going to drop on this like megachurch thing? Like the fact
so
that
they're not.
Sorry, go
they're
ahead.
not presenting him as like secretly corrupt and knows it behind the scenes, or that he's deluded himself so thoroughly that he doesn't believe he's corrupt even when he is. He's just straight up presented as like not a bad guy.
There's definitely a lot of B. Like I'm not.
And then that's only John Goodman's character too. I agree with everything Andy said so far. I'd say more of the A column, or I guess more of the they know they're corrupt and they don't really give a shit, is like the kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Danny McBride and Adam Levine and I forget her name. She's really funny.
Judy.
The daughter. Yeah, Judy.
Adam Devine. I keep doing the same exact thing. That's the singer of Maroon 5.
Oh,
Adam.
Yeah.
Levine.
Adam Devine is.
Gotcha.
Is the actor. Yeah. Well, I'm early in the show. I'm like 4
Andy,
episodes in, and
season 2 before you make total judgment.
That's fair. I'm like halfway through. So like,
But
How many
also, I
seasons are
don't
there?
really disagree with anything you said.
How many seasons
yeah.
are there?
Just
There's
two.
just two
The
so
second
far.
one
Right now.
came out pretty recently. Then cause they they did like on HBO Max like an episode a week. I think the finale came out maybe last month, 2-3 weeks ago, something like that.
That being said, I don't want to end on a bad note. The whole idea that it's a show about family really does come through, and you do feel like the warmth of the family, and it's a lot of fun seeing all the characters interact with each other, and overall it's a good show. I just got kind of rambling about one specific thing I've been mulling over in my head.
Sure.
Vito, you were saying something before you got cut off.
I'm only like 4 episodes in, and I'm gonna keep watching it. Definitely curious. I'm not like completely hooked yet, but I'm enjoying it. I thought that they were setting Eli up to be corrupt and a bad person in the 4 episodes that I've seen. Maybe things change, but I thought from the get go he's doing some shady shit, especially when all these other local churches get involved.
There's for sure there are characters who seem to like recognize what Eli is or how Eli should feel about things, but I don't want to say too much. It just seems like so far Eli has gone 2 seasons seemingly actually not just willingly, but like just literally oblivious to the corruption that is inherent in his lifestyle.
Okay.
He sometimes confronts it in little ways here and there, but like it's more like, I don't know. He's just done a good job building his churches the way he sees it. He's just doing his job. That was a bit more about Righteous Gemstones than I wanted to say, but hey, some interesting talk. And speaking of interesting talk, we still have some interesting talk coming from the mouths of Greg and perhaps Vito later on.
No.
Not right this second, though.
And we're all going to mull over a bit of the news as well. So stick around, friends.
I love news.
We'll be back soon. Yo, Vito, you here?
Yeah.
I'm just starting to think it's been awfully quiet. We don't really have any good breaking material yet.
Yeah, I was taking some bites of some sandwich.
Yeah, really? Me too. I'm not even kidding. I'm eating my Jimmy John's right now. What kind of sandwich you got?
Just opening Jimmy John's near me.
All right, let's do it layer by layer. Top layer, what's on your sandwich?
Okay, it's actually a chicken pita. It's a pita.
All right.
It's not like layers like that.
All right, so fuck you. But top layer, what's on your pita?
Beets,
All right,
carrots.
I got mayonnaise and lettuce.
I got eggplant.
And actually, I think mine's just beef the rest of the way down. No, actually, no, it's a couple layers of beef. I got turkey in there.
No cheese or anything.
There might be cheese in here too. It's kind of hard to tell with all the mayo.
I've never had Jimmy John's. They just opened one in my neighborhood. I probably still won't go.
All right,
But
fuck you.
well, it's just because I mean
It's freaky fast,
you
dude.
gotta-
What's the problem?
yeah, but New York City is like home of like there's a deli in every corner, and you get like a big fat sandwich
Depends on the sandwich.
stuffed for probably cheaper than any like fast food. That's why like Subway's like the stupidest thing.
Oh yeah, Subway's expensive as fuck. Way too expensive for what it is.
But I mean, I don't know. I'll have to check Jimmy John's out.
It's not good. It's just like, well, it's not good. It is good. It's not like it's fucking gourmet, but it's good. It's more just convenient and fast, and they're cold sandwiches too. It's not like, yeah, they're all cold sandwiches.
You're eating cold beef?
Yeah, it's good.
That's a little weird.
What are you talking about? You've never had cold roast beef?
Oh, you mean like a cold cut? Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
No,
I was thinking like ground beef or something.
No. I'm just saying all their subs are cold cuts.
Come on.
I don't know. Maybe I'll have to
Vito.
meet this Jimmy
Bro.
John myself.
I don't know if you want to. I think he's pro Papa John, if you know what I mean.
Wow. This is Future Flask here to say how very interesting I found your sandwich conversation. 'Cause, you know, as friends, we finish each other's sandwiches.
Vito,
Yes.
what do you got this
I don't
week?
know if Flask is here.
Flask is here.
What? I'm here.
I don't think he's here.
I said I'm here.
I think he
That's
died.
me.
What did I talk about last on this podcast?
What'd you do last?
Gremlins?
Surely I had started Elden Ring.
I think probably just Elden Ring.
All right. Well, I have 60 hours in Elden Ring. I'm level 55 or some shit.
Those are rookie numbers. Haha.
Those are rookie numbers. I'm working on it. It's like, well, I anytime I've had time to play games, I've been playing Elden Ring, and I love it, and it's addicting. I want to play more of it. But I also want to get back to Cuphead and Hades and all the shit that came out on Game Pass, Guardians of the Galaxy, Tunic. Good stuff out there. So I do want to beat it soon.
I downloaded that and I started it. I played maybe 20.
Tunic?
Yeah, maybe 10, 20 minutes. Don't have anything to say yet.
I'm very curious about playing that after playing Death's Door, seeing what comparisons I could draw.
You just
It just
so
looks
want to
so
draw the
similar.
comparisons. You're looking for
I'm
them.
just like, I'm like astonished at how visually similar they are.
Mhm.
It's not like that is a very unique style, I think. That like 3D, it's not isometric, it's like an angle. I don't know what you call that. And then the cutesy graphic style. I've never seen that before, Death's Door, so it's weird that this game also.
Yeah, we don't play a lot of Legend of Zelda games. I mean, they look similar to a lot of the ones in, like the 3DS or something like that.
Yeah.
The Minish Cap or something.
I mean, even the remake of Link's Awakening, which is the direct inspiration for Tunic, very clearly. That one had like that clay sort of tilt shift diorama style of graphics.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Flask, I can't. You haven't played Tunic yet, right? You mentioned it last week.
No,
Right.
I've not yet played it. I'm gonna at some point.
Yeah, I really don't have anything. That's it. Elden Ring, baby.
Wow.
The
One
Where
more pod
you
like
at?
that, bud, in your
Where
cut.
you at?
Wow, dude.
Where are you at in the ring? Tell the viewers where you're at.
Where am I at?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's not spoilers for anybody's here. You guys all beat it.
Spoilers for Elden Ring until 1:20:36.
I beat General Radon's General Radon.
Oh,
Nice, dude. I told you could do it.
Slapped him up.
You were all whiny about
Yeah,
it.
well, I was not whiny about it. When I'm playing that game,
crying.
I got like 5 different people talking and telling me what to do. And I'm not even asking for it when I'm playing and streaming that game. Everyone's got an opinion. I know what I'm doing.
that's
I think
the price you
fought
pay
him.
for playing and streaming the game. To other
Yeah,
people.
no, you're.
All right,
I know. I know.
To be clear here, what he's talking about is Vito saying, I don't think that I can take Radon. Everybody asking what level he is, and then him saying, then everybody's like, no, you can take him.
No,
we
it's
were
not
not
that.
we were not fucking telling you where to go.
No, Kurt said
All right,
I
but
wasn't high enough
that
level
does
for-
happen a lot, though. I feel like,
Yeah,
people get
it's been
excited and they just want to be like, oh, hey, did you see this thing? But I can
no, it
understand that.
happens.
Like, not playing the game, you're just like,
Yeah, I'm completely content
Yeah.
playing it the way I was playing it. I mean, I think I did everything right. I ran to Radon. He was a toughie. I only fought him like 5 times, but like I've said this several times to you guys off the Discord. But my thing is like, I gauge me being able to defeat a boss by how much damage I could do in like a single wave of hits. So like if I go in, I give him a couple hits, and I don't take away like a good portion of his health, whatever it is, a 1/30th of his health or something like that, then I consider that I'm not ready for him, because can I beat him if I just keep throwing myself at him and I fucking memorize every move he does and perfect him? Yeah, but I'm not spending 10 hours on a boss. I'd rather, give the boss 10 playthroughs
Vito,
before I beat him. You know what I mean?
I did the
I
same
don't play
exact
Dark
thing.
Souls, but I would be paranoid, and I don't know, maybe because you've played more of them, so maybe it doesn't happen, but I would be paranoid that there would be a boss where, like, you hit him a bunch and it looks like you're doing no damage.
Okay, so
and
this
then,
is
like, you do
exactly something that's
and
in
then,
the game.
And then
That
a
is,
giant chunk of his health goes down. And you're
So
like,
there is a boss in the game, the crystal people that you encounter pretty often.
it's like that's
They're
like not like I mean that
mini-boss.
is kind of like a boss thing that happens sometimes in games where you think you're doing nothing and then all of a sudden you break his armor and like
Yeah, I mean, I give it enough times. Where
yeah.
His pants
I
fall
figured out
down
that-
and he's like embarrassed.
I'm just saying
There
at
was-
my end, because I don't play, I would be paranoid. I feel like I would always be doing that. Like I would always think like the next hit is the one that was gonna break
Yeah, or
his whole
maybe-
health bar. Yeah, that's what
Maybe you
that's
need
just
to
me, though.
attack like a specific weak spot on him that I wasn't, or something like that.
Yeah, I'd go crazy doing that.
Or he's some sort of gimmicky boss. There's these crystal guys that you run into, and they're like these blue crystal guys. And
Crystallians.
you hit him. When I hit him, I didn't do like any damage to him. I was swinging at him. I was like barely doing it. I was like, I don't think I got this. And somebody in the Discord did like say something, like gave him a hint, like, oh, you got to break him first or some shit. And then sure enough, if you hit him like enough times, you like stun him and you like shatter like the first layer of crystal. And then from there, it's like easy to just wipe him out. But it's funny that you said that though.
That actually is kind of the
but
nice
yeah,
thing about playing a strength build, because at that point in the game, I was capable of breaking through that armor pretty quickly. So they didn't I didn't really process what their deal was because I was killing them so fast. But I saw other people playing and encountering the Crystallians, and I was like, oh, it takes a while to bust through that. And then you can start
Yeah, it
doing
would take
actual
me
damage.
like 4 or 5 like heavy hits.
Maybe I'm just a
like,
better gamer
jumping
than you
attacks.
guys. I went in with my magic. I threw a glintstone pebble. I was like, magic doesn't do anything. I threw my gravity rocks. Like, physical doesn't do anything. So I bet if I stagger this guy, I'll probably break his crystal and then be able to kill him. And that's exactly what
You're
happened.
smart. That's smart. I didn't think that at all.
You can try
I just
acid.
whacked him a bunch. Acid?
You can try
Yeah,
acid.
acid in that game.
Well, I'd seen enemies that were weak to magic, but not physical. Enemies that were weak to physical, but not magic. Enemies that were weak to both. But I'd never seen an enemy that was resistant to both. So I was like, I bet he's not.
But yeah, I beat Radon. That was a great boss fight. Very cool. And now I'm exploring the Altus Plateau.
I kept wanting
That's
to
where I
call
left
that
off.
the Atlas Plateau. That's what I kept wanting to call it.
I don't even know if I'm saying it right.
It's the-
Is
Oh,
it
yeah.
not Atlas?
It's Altus.
It is Altus.
Oh, I thought it
Altus.
was Atlas the whole time.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, the L and the T are
Well, I
switched.
also have dyslexia.
It is
so.
Altus Tattoo.
Running Dex Faith. I'm like at the point now. I mean, I've been using the Twin Blade pretty much the whole game because it's just super great. But I'm like just getting to the point where my faith is like swinging, slingshotting like past my decks, like where instead of my first instinct being to whack people, now my spells are like pretty strong. Where I'm like, all right, let me throw a couple lightning bolts at this guy. It might be better than just hitting them.
The real gravy to your build then is to find a weapon to find a weapon or weapon art or whatever, such that you're using a faith scaling weapon, so you don't even really need the deck so much anymore. I don't. I guess that's kind of turning into a different build, but that was my progression throughout the game. Is that I was dex in, and around the point where I had 27 decks, I pretty much just stopped leveling decks entirely because I had in scaling weapons and my spells were just taking off like crazy.
And if you really like that weapon that much, I'm sure you can then respec, take all the points off decks that other than the ones that are required, put them in a faith or something.
Yeah, and you would get higher returns. Yeah, it's not obvious, but the way scaling works generally means that if you have C in faith, D in dex, and you're asking what is the most efficient point economy, it's putting 60 points into C and then start putting points in a D, not like mixing matching. It's like 100% one and then the other. You just get higher returns that way.
And then you got math in the game. It sounds so fucking lame. They didn't even know what math was in the Old West. You know that, right? They just winged it.
Well, that was
That's true.
no offense to any of our listeners, because like everybody
count on their fingers.
Everybody plays the game in their own way, and I'm not even really insulting anybody that we know, because none of the people that we know are this crazy about the game. But I do know some other people who are big Souls fans, and they have like such a hard time playing these games on launch because they don't know what the caps are. They don't know how to maximize their build. And
like, why even worry about it? As long as you're having fun.
Because
I feel like that would ruin it for me if I mean,
because the FOMO.
I mean, I get that.
It's the FOMO of
not
of knowing that there's more damage potential that you're not realizing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we do have friends that are like that, and I have never gotten it, and they're like, you know, you do it this way. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. For me, it just defeats, like, it's almost 50% of playing the game is like figuring this stuff out, and that's me though. I understand that's just me. Some people don't. They want like the optimum build, and then their fun is actually completing the game, and I get that too. But for me, I
could understand those people, but I'm not that guy.
There's a trope of nerd out there that is well known in D&D circles. I learned about this a few weeks ago, but I thought it was funny enough to share. Basically, there are problems in 5th edition D&D that are super obvious when you lay it out on paper. And like when you talk about it, it's like, yeah, of course that's a problem. That doesn't make any sense. Why would it work that way? But the meme in D&D communities is that people who like notice those problems and like keep talking about them and complaining about them are people who don't actually play D&D. And to an extent, I think that analogy fits here with like Dark Souls, where like the stats and stuff, all that math is true, and it matters if you're going to try to maximize your damage potential. But the best way to play is to just only give a little bit of a shit about it enough that you're not like killing yourself or like just making a terrible build. But like you were saying, John, like this, I know you weren't saying this exactly, but just to borrow like that sentiment, that one of the beauties of Elden Ring and the Souls game in general is the ability to beat the game with anything, with like any weapon you want, play it with however you're playing. So that's how it's designed. You know what I mean?
I think maybe with the exception, or I don't know if there is even an exception of one or two of you, but yeah, pretty much all of you have beaten the game with a different weapon, right? Or at least a different style.
Yeah. Yeah, for the most part, yeah. I think maybe the biggest overlap is big sword guys, but even then, there's not a huge overlap. And you were using different swords, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we get to tell each other or watch each other play, and we all have like different experiences when fighting certain enemies because we have different builds and such. I tell you, man, playing, Elden Ring is like an amazing game. Fantastic game. But playing it all together, from launch till now has been like quite an experience. Like there really hasn't been anything like that. All of us.
Yeah,
like 10 of us playing
it.
the game at once. And the way that that group system exists in the game, like, holy shit, what an experience when you're playing with like fucking 10 plus people and just constantly seeing, when someone's defeated a shard bearer or someone's become a lord.
Yeah.
And seeing the
graduated
group messages
from college.
and you know what I mean? Like it's really a place and time, because you could play this game down the road. The game's still going to be great, but having this experience we're having right now is really cool.
Yeah, no, an experience I missed out on last year or the year before, I can't remember now, time is weird, is the launch of Valheim, and I think it has a lot of the same vibe.
I was just thinking that. I'm glad you guys had that, because I don't know if either of you got in on that when Valheim came out.
But yeah, I mean that
I was there for Valheim.
I mean
that is a really cool feeling. I definitely felt that with Valheim, and I think I did notice that when even when you guys are playing, or at least the system. When someone in your crew beats a boss and it tells everybody, I think that's just like
that's so badass.
It's cool. It's like achievements, but it's like real time, and it's like with your friends. It's cool. Yeah.
You're in a party chat with like 6 people, and nobody wants to spoil anything for each other. But like every now and then, you like feel something out, and like it was such a cool feeling. And this happened multiple times with me and Greg and me and Knoxville and me and Flask, I think even once or twice. where like I would ask Greg, "Hey Greg, where you at?" And he'd be like, well, I'm in this one place that looks kind of like this." And I'd be like, "Dude, that's exactly where I'm at. You want to just co-op?" And we would just start playing together, you know. When it was exactly like the Dark Souls experience where we both had our own totally unique paths on getting to this location, but we just so happened to be in that location at the same time, so we might as well co-op. You know what I mean? And we went through it together, and there was a lot of moments like that in the first few weeks that just felt great. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Now, I do have an important question.
Yeah.
For John, actually.
Ooh.
Oh.
If cowboys can't count, explain blackjack.
I think they just slapped the table.
I just
don't
heard
think
John
they,
slam his fucking hands on this.
I was gonna
desk.
say, if I didn't want to mess up the audio, I was about to just fucking tear my headset off and run out the door. I can't explain it. All right. I guess they just have good faith and they trust each other.
All right, Vito, you managed to spin quite a yarn about not having much to talk about, you say. You do this every week. You always not have much to talk about, and then you find something.
You guys help me out. You guys help me out. Big
I think a lot about how to help Vito out. Greg,
Hello.
as everybody knows by now, Greg rolled the lowest initiative in the pre-pod game. So, Greg,
As always.
right before the news, right at the end of the roundtable, and with some interesting things to say, what have you been doing the last couple of weeks?
Pep me up a little bit.
Oh boy, do I have things. So the first one, a hit game got updated. You may have heard of it, called Fortnite. It's a little game, it's a little indie game that came out.
I've heard of it.
I saw you on that Fortnite.
They removed
Fortnite?
building to
For
Fortnite.
temporarily, right? Like maybe it's even back in by now.
I would think so. I basically, me and my friend Eric, I was like, yo, they got rid of building. Let's play this game for like a day. And we played it, and it was a ton of fun.
What does that mean? Like, why is that important? Why would they get rid of something? I
Because
don't know
building
anything
is
about
like
Fortnite.
a core
It's annoying.
feature of that game.
So
Like,
why would you
that's
get
like-
excited when they remove it?
All right,
'Cause it's
Vito,
annoying as
Vito,
fuck.
all right. You know what Fortnite is, right? It's a battle royale.
It's a battle royale, but I'm not.
All right. So
moving
imagine
on
you're
the
playing
building.
PUBG, but someone had the ability to like build walls around
The second
them.
you shoot them, they just
second you
Do we,
like,
do we
explode
really have
into
to
building
describe
pieces.
what Fortnite
Yeah, I don't know.
is?
What's going on here, Vito? Are you that old? You don't know? You've seen Fortnite?
You know
Come
what
on.
Fortnite is.
No, I know what Fortnite is, but I don't understand why the sentiment is we're excited that they
okay.
got
Well,
rid of, like,
that's
a big feature.
Well, that's the differentiator
Well-
for Fortnite is like the building, but that is also like, you know, an obstacle for some players because there's a rich battle royale community that likes just shooting things and running away from the circle. That doesn't want to have to
And not building competing towers to heaven to
I
try to kill
personally
the other
hate the
person.
building.
I- It's been a long time since I played a battle royale, but like when I was into that genre, I played Fortnite in like the first season, maybe even like the beta, whatever. Whenever it first came out, because it was right off the presses of PUBG. I remember just
Yeah.
immediately bouncing off because of the building. It was just not a mechanic I was interested in engaging with.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, like I played it when it like with Andy when it first came out. I played it with a friend of mine, and then I didn't play it for a while. I was like, oh, they got rid of building. Let me check it. That game is a night and day difference to what it originally was. Like I dropped in the map. Well, first off, let me just say,
Tomato Town.
I have a story about Tomato
really
Town, or what I
like
think
you.
was Tomato Town. So before I played it to download it, I decided to play games without him, a few games. I played a squad game. I loaded in and I immediately left because there was a child screaming in my ears, another child calling me dog water constantly, and another
Straight dog
dude,
water, bro.
Straight dog
dude,
water.
another guy who was probably like, he was an older dude, and he was just letting these kids get to him. He was like, "Shut up, kid, just
I ain't
shut
dog
up."
water.
Shut
Stop
up.
Yo, I ain't
And
dog water. Cut it
so-
out.
Basically, so I quit immediately. I went to solos by myself. Excuse me. And I was like, all right, let's see a game. I decided to go to the Daily Bugle, which is, as you guys know, the Spider-Man news station or whatever. And yeah, I started there. Didn't see a single person for like maybe 20 minutes playing it. Instead, I kept finding NPCs who were walking around. I would kill them. They would do all this crazy shit. I found a tank at one point, and you're just able to drive this tank around and shoot at people. It's sorry, I was watching the Discord thing.
I mean,
Dude,
got cars and stuff, and
they have cars. You have to fill the cars up with gas. I hit Naruto with a car. That was pretty crazy.
That's more powerful than any jutsu.
Yeah, dude, it's just that game is so wacky. Wacky is the best way I can describe that game. Like, it is just chaos incarnate. Like, when I would find people, because the building wasn't in, if you shot them once, normally people would like spin around and start building stuff. You would just see them jump, spin around, and nothing would happen, and you would just shoot them right there in the middle of the woods.
Wait,
it was
what?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, I only played it that one day, and when we played with Eric, we did win. We did get a victory royale, as they say in the biz, and we kept singing that stupid ass song.
Get down.
Number one victory royale.
Number one victory royale. We just kept singing that and screaming it at each other.
My favorite. Whenever I think of that song, and it gets stuck in my head first off, and then I think of my favorite meme version of that is the talking WebM GIF of Chairman Mao singing that. I love it. I don't know why.
But yeah, it's Fortnite.
So wait, are you unclear on whether this is a season wide removal or whether this is playlists or
they.
Go ahead, Greg.
I was gonna say, so when you start the game up, it played like a little cutscene, and there was this group called like the Imagine. I think it's called like the Imagine group or something like that. And they hit a button, and they literally delete building from the entire world.
Oh, Imagine Dragons would do that, yeah.
Yeah, and then like a little message pops up that says, "You gotta defeat the Imagine group to bring back building." So I'm guessing it's coming back, but hopefully they do it like they did with like Warzone, where they had Rebirth Island, and they just make it its own thing.
So
because I feel like a lot of people.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Andy. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think the answer to that is, however, Fortnite has handled its previous seasons, because it always does something wacky every season, right? Like,
yeah, it definitely does.
So are the same just like legacy
airplanes
playlists
and mechs? I have no idea about that. I didn't look that deep into it. I just played the game and was like, whatever.
Well,
but it was fun.
I guess the marketing worked, right? Because they wanted people to be like, "Oh, hey, there's no building. Let me try Fortnite now," and you did.
And there are definitely there's definitely a lot of people like streamers that I've seen that are just playing Fortnite now. They're like, "Oh yeah, this is fun."
I saw some headlines saying they're considering making it permanent, the no building.
That'd be cool.
I was like, that cannot possibly be like a game-wide thing. That would have to be playlists or modes.
Subreddits and stuff, and people were fairly certain that it was coming back in like a week.
I'm sure it's going to come back in a week.
How the community does.
But I would definitely like a different mode.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. There is a rumor. I forgot where I saw it.
Screaming children.
But someone was saying the next guest characters, like, you know, they have like Naruto and all them. They were gonna add the One Piece characters. So I was like, oh man, I'm gonna save that for John.
Just in time for the TV show.
Yeah. But that's Fortnite.
They're not gonna be their actual designs are gonna be like modeled after the actors that were cast as
God.
Live action? No,
live action Cowboy Bebop ones also.
Yep. Yes, please.
Now this next game.
All right.
This is a little rough to even bring up because I really didn't even want to talk about it. So there's a little bug. There's a bug in my brain, guys. There's a big bug, and he mind controls me. And he made me do something I never thought I'd ever do.
Oh my god, you played World of Warcraft again.
I bought a month of World of Warcraft time.
Jesus.
because I was like,
Are they
well,
announcing a new expansion or something?
they're gonna announce a new expansion on the 19th.
Did they remove building from that too?
I'm sorry, one more time.
Did they remove building from World of Warcraft as well?
They have removed anything, everything. That's whatever. What? So I listen. I'm just gonna get mad. So I stopped playing, which is pretty crazy. So when I reapplied my thing, the last time I played World of Warcraft was March. I think it's like 15th, 2021. So I've been off World of Warcraft for a year before coming back here. I had 2 patches to go through. The first one is Chains of Domination, and the second one, I think it's called Sanctum or something like that. I don't remember the name of it.
Real cool names.
Yeah, that's what you think, right? So there's a lot of shit that I've been going through. It took me like I finished the first patch before we started doing this. I finished 9.1. There were some cool parts. I think it was really good that so I started the game up and it spawned me in my area and it was like, hey, you can do the 9.1 stuff or go to 9.2, and I was like, all right, let me do my dailies first, to just get all the shit out of the way, and then I can start the new content. And it was like slipping back into an old dirty shoe. It was I did my dailies. I was like, wow, this took a long time. This was kind of complicated and annoying. I went to this place called the Mall, which is you can't mount, you can't do like anything fun there for a while, or you get kicked out after a while. So I did all that. I was like, man, this kind of sucks. Let me start like the patch when I actually came here to like play. So I started playing it. And then suddenly I started getting like cool upgrades. Like one of the upgrades, I'm able to mount and like fly in the zones now, which was really good. So I was able to like fly to areas, and it cut down my time like for doing shit in half, which was awesome. The second thing they gave me was they got rid of this thing called the Eye of the Jailer, which if you're in this place called the Mall for long enough, if you're doing stuff like activities in it, the bar will increase, and if it gets all the way maxed out, it would start debuffing you with a bunch of damage, and you have to leave the area, and you can't come back to that area until like tomorrow, the next day. So they got rid of that, and I was like, dude, this is awesome. These 2 big things I hated about this place, they're finally gone. This is great. Now I can do the next patch, and there's some cool parts in that patch. But the first patch sucks big wang, dude. Big wang.
First patch sucks big wang.
The story. Big wang. The story.
Spoilers for World of Warcraft. I guess the new stuff until 1:40:42.
I have no idea what the fuck's going on anymore.
Is the jailer still around doing shit?
So the jailer. All right. Turns out, Flask.
You mentioned his eye,
and I know they're just slicing off content for this. Like they're cutting so much shit because now everybody knows what the jailer's name is. His name is Zoval, because people were talking about him in the patch. They're like, Zoval, he's brought something aboard. And I'm like, who the fuck is Zoval? And then I find out it's the jailer, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know his name. How does everyone know his name?
Bro, Zoval.
So yeah, Zoval.
Come on.
But there's just so many like weird plot points in the they bring back have you played Warcraft 3, Flask, or do you know?
I played
anything?
some of Warcraft 3. I never finished it.
All right. So damn, this is going to be so I'm just going to start talking about World of Warcraft lore for a few minutes.
This constitutes spoilers.
Everyone knows. Yeah, basically.
Okay.
If you haven't played Warcraft or whatever, I'm going to spoil a bunch of World of Warcraft shit. So everyone knows the Lich King. Lich King was made, he's this guy, Arthas Menethil. He was basically controlled by this dude. It turns out he was controlled by the jailer, and not by like the Burning Legion or whatever the fuck was going on. Turns out Mal'Ganis, the person who like led him to Northrend and helped him become the Lich King, turns out he is like one of these demon dudes. There are these things called the Nathrazim. And yeah, they come back after a while and they're like, hey, we're all evil. We're actually working for this big bad guy. I'm sorry, can you give me 1 sec?
The pages are flipping as he goes through his notes.
Sorry, no, something else is going on. Yeah, basically they brought back this old group and it turns out that these guys a big thing I saw was that they're apparently like everybody, like all these bosses that people like, or like all these lore implications are these things called dreadlords, and they're just evil dudes in disguise. And like it's like the same 3 dudes over and over again, apparently, that we keep killing.
Edgelords?
Yeah, pretty much, bro. I'm gonna talk more probably next week because I'll probably be done with 9.2 and I'll probably have stopped playing it. But I do have a few more bad points I have to talk about. So I am currently right now playing 2 MMOs, Final Fantasy and World of Warcraft. I think World of Warcraft's one of its biggest issues is its community. I think the fucking community sucks so much ass. It actually like makes me like it astonishes me how much better the Final Fantasy community is. Like and now this is just a me thing, but when you go into like a dungeon in Final Fantasy, everybody I've ever played with is usually like, hey, like they wave or like they say, hey, how you doing, blah blah blah, they'll talk a little bit. I did like 6 dungeons yesterday. Silence. Nobody said a fucking thing. Except for one dude who was really mad that we failed at a wipe or failed at a pull, and he proceeded to call everybody trash and then left. And we were like, that was like
Classic.
the 3rd or 4th pull, dude. What the hell's your deal? Or at least I was saying that. But yeah, dude, like everyone's like toxic. No one talks. Everyone either just like, if they don't immediately get what they want, they just leave, and there's like no penalization. I feel like it's a mess, dude. It's a big mess.
Yeah, the feeling I get is like being addicted to Final Fantasy 14 is like being a functioning alcoholic, where you're like, yes, your body is addicted to the game, but you still have a fun time while you're drinking. You know, you're still like you're able to manage it. You're able to live that life.
Yeah.
And then World of Warcraft is like being addicted to meth. It's just like ruining your life when you get addicted to it.
And I was like, because I should say World of Warcraft, while BFA, Battle for Azeroth, which was the last expansion, and Shadowlands, they were both pretty rough. I thought it was going to get good in the last patch for Battle for Azeroth because it was adding my favorite stuff, which was like the old gods and all that. And then they fucking just wiped the slate clean. They were like, dude, we know that was cool. We're done. We're just going to add stupid shit from now on. And that's what they did. But I've been told that this new, with the 9.2, whatever the hell it's called, is actually pretty dang good. And I'm excited to try that. And the new raids. So I'll probably have more next week on that. But most likely it'll just be me shitting on WoW more and talking about how great Final Fantasy is.
You could have just stayed away, Greg. You could have just
I could have.
the past.
And dude, well, here's the thing. And I've talked to Andy about this, but I think World of Warcraft has given me Stockholm syndrome.
Oh, sure.
Where I just cannot, like, at least once a day, I will think about World of Warcraft. And I'm like, dude, damn, what the fuck happened in that game? And just the other day, it got to me. I was like, dude, I want to check out because maybe this new expansion will be cool. Maybe I can go back and I can play WoW again and I can have some semblance of happiness again. That'd be pretty cool.
At least when I was captive in WoW's basement, I got 3 hots and a cot.
Yeah. You don't get that anymore. Now you just get anima and not enough anima to live. The WoW listeners will get that one. Haha. But yeah, so far the patch sucks. Or the first patch sucks. I didn't get anything cool. And oh shit, actually I do have one good thing about the patch. So the first patch, They released this thing called a mega dungeon, and it's this place called the Secret Market. I think it's called Tazavish. One of their cooler dungeons they've made. It's super nice. It's like a bunch of it's like a big marketplace for a bunch of like cartels and stuff. These like dudes who sell random shit. Like it's like a giant black market. It's super cool. Highly my biggest thing about World of Warcraft is they got some dang good art. They got some dang good art in their game. I like all their models and stuff, but
well, that's something.
I don't there's a lot of stuff that I could go on about, but I feel like I'm just kind of circling the drain at this point.
I don't have anything to say about WoW is the problem.
Well, that's kind of why I didn't want to bring this up, because like you guys really don't know about World of Warcraft, so it's just me talking to like an empty room, or not an empty room, but like talking about something that nobody knows what nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about, so I can't really like.
I understand your sentiment
gauge
though, of having a game that means a lot to you and not
it's,
being happy
World of
where it is
Warcraft
and wanting it to be better.
Near and dear to my heart. I had some great friends. That's why I don't even play Classic. I would play Classic, but dude, I just don't want to taint the memory of like Burning Crusade and all that.
Sylvanus, Georgia.
Yeah, nostalgia.
Alright.
Yeah, that's it. I'll have more next week about WoW.
All right,
And I'll be
good.
angry.
I'm excited to hear the evolution of Greg's opinion on this patch. Does it sound like
The second patch sucks.
I was going to say, maybe it's going to finally win you back over for good, and Final Fantasy 14 is going to be dead in the water.
No, that's not happening. I'm gonna keep playing Final Fantasy, but I'd like to switch off between each MMO and not play both or neither.
Well,
But that's just me.
I've got one Final Fantasy for you, and that's our first news story. News. The Quarry is an all-new teen horror game coming from Supermassive Games. When I first saw this, I was hoping it was a Friday the 13th ripoff, but that's my personal taste. It's actually an Until Dawn-like game. It's a spiritual successor to Until Dawn.
There was another game coming out that was a Friday the 13th. It was by the same studio, I think.
Yep.
I think there is one coming out.
Yeah, they're doing Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
See, it's less exciting that it's by the same studio for me.
Right.
But I was hoping for a new take. But
yeah,
that's a similar bag. The trailer kind of starts, it feels that way, or I don't know, that's the vibe I got from the very beginning of the trailer. And then I've seen it was Until Dawn folk. Yeah,
you got the Gemstones guy in there. Skylar.
I mean, they also make they made the Dark Pictures.
Yeah, so I enjoyed Until Dawn, and I'm excited to see a spiritual successor to it. But it's weird how these articles about the Quarry are not mentioning the Dark Pictures anthology, right?
Yeah, because it's like,
why aren't they mentioning?
They just announced 4 more games or 3 more games.
Yeah, and it's also like the same exact style. Like
thing. Yeah.
Like, even if you were going to say, oh, well, this one is different from those, as it is more similar to Until Dawn in its like construction,
like
and
maybe it's not
the way it
5
plays and
player
everything
or
like that.
whatever. Yeah,
exactly. But still,
tonally,
why aren't they even mentioning one line about the Dark Pictures anthology? It's strange to me, considering that's what they've been doing for years now. You know, Until Dawn was 2013.
Yeah,
I
agree.
Yeah.
Flask. I actually don't know the context behind this one, but so I'll just read exactly what Flask wrote as the heading to say for this news article. Halo show folks say the early 2000s Chevy Tahoe is supposed to be there.
It's supposed to.
So in the trailer for the Halo
Chevy
show,
in the trailer,
yeah, there was a Chevy Tahoe from the early 2000s in the background in one scene. And of course, people were like, what?
Where's
that?
That
Doesn't make any sense. This show is like 500 years in the future from when that would have been manufactured.
They're good
And-
cars.
Hey, one of the
just
soldiers
damn good
having some, like,
cars.
classic cars.
Yeah, so
they're
the
good cars. They
showrunners
last a long
responded
time.
and basically said like, it's funny because all these articles about this are saying like, oh well, they responded and said it's supposed to be there. They never actually, as far as I can tell,
Plain.
referenced the Chevy Tahoe itself. They never were like that early 2000s Chevy Tahoe is supposed to be there because of this reason. No, they instead made several like kind of vague confirmations about, oh yeah, as close as I can tell, because it's hard to pinpoint the actual explanation. The TLDR explanation seems to be the colony brought in a lot of stuff from wherever they could get it, including this 500-year-old Chevy Tahoe.
Including the year 2000.
Yeah.
Now,
So they were just
real
like,
quick,
yeah.
for this. There's a guy that lives near me, and he restores like really, really old cars. So I could see this as like a guy in the Halo universe, like, oh man, Chevy Tahoe, I restored this baby. Check it out. So
Those were good cars.
yeah, they're good car. Exactly, dude. So
Yeah, but
I
for
don't
us, it
know.
would be like restoring a wagon from
I would
like,
say, yeah, the difference is, yeah, like you restoring old cars might be restoring like a 60, 70-year-old car, but that thing's supposed to be like 500 years old. Like,
All right.
They're good
well, we don't have
cars.
500-year-old
Flask,
cars.
like,
I'm sure.
that's what I'm saying. So it
five-
would be like you, like, oh, I'm gonna go fix this old wagon up and go fucking hitch across the
hitch
the
across,
frontier.
I wanna-
dude. If
I
I
wanna
could, I
throw-
would.
I'm-
If I could find one, I would.
I want to throw stones, Flask, but I think
Hey,
you're
there's
right.
wood right
like,
outside.
I don't want to like indict this author here necessarily, but
what?
I'm reading the closest thing it comes to linking the Chevy Tahoe to a statement about how it's supposed to be there. And basically, it's a production designer talking about building a set like this. And he's like, you know, there's an amalgamation of natural stuff that's always there. And then there's also stuff that the UNC has brought in. But,
Mhm.
and then the author, after the quote says, like a Chevy Tahoe. It's like, well, no,
Right.
the guy didn't say that.
That's what I was seeing from multiple
Real quick,
articles.
No, like,
Shift up.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm seeing it here, you know. Like,
yeah. I'm saying
bet-
that's
I
what I
bet
saw
none
from
of
multiple
you have
articles. The sort
even-
of jumping to conclusions from what they said
future?
vaguely.
I bet none of you guys have sat in the driver's seat of a Chevy Tahoe. And
I haven't.
It
I admit.
shows. And it really shows. Because if you had, you would know that those cars are going to be long lasting. They're going to be around far in the future. Probably the year 5000 on another planet.
More of what I'm seeing from these quotes from the show people are like, clearly they are sweating nervously about Halo fans caring about the show this much, because they're like, we never expected anyone ever to notice that in the background of the trailer. That just indicates to us how much the Halo fans really care about the
Nervous
the
laughter.
property. And they're like, huh? Yeah, they're like, it's they've been bringing in stuff. But yeah, they never actually say the Chevy Tahoe is there because some UNSC
guys,
Marine
look,
likes to
the
restore
gamers
vehicles.
won't care, right? Because it's a TV show. It's not a video game. Like they don't have a reason to care, right? So we're gonna be fine, right, guys?
Well, we did see that quote about it made more sense in context, but the thing it boiled down to, which every article picked up as a headline, was like, we never looked at the games while writing the show, basically.
Yeah.
Which out of context sounds really bad. In context sounds a little better. So I would say, like, if you get mad at that, go read the actual article that comes from. But even in context, it's like still not a great look to not even think about the games at all.
Yeah, no, that sounds like I don't know what director it is when they make like a superhero movie and they're like took pride. Like I made sure I didn't read any of the comics. Was it the X-Men guy who did the X-Men? Like I made sure I didn't look at any comics. Like that's fine, and like yeah, you could have put a cool twist on that, but like the majority of people going to see, and I didn't read the article, but the majority of people are going to see it are going to be video game, in this case, Halo players. You know what I mean? Like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Huh.
It read to me in context.
Right? Isn't it watchable?
It's
Or
out-
at least
yeah,
for
it's like
the
today.
first
I
episode.
picked up on it.
It's out today. I'm seeing some poor reviews all
Yo,
around.
let's throw it up after the pod. But I picked up on an interesting quote here. Not really related to what we're talking about, but when I think about what the series is, this is from Wolfkill, who's a transmedia executive. Okay, big guy. When I think about what the series is, it's a story of the Master Chief understanding who he is as John.
What?
Yeah, it's just what I wanted.
Isn't that exactly the opposite of what?
I don't remember that in the game.
But I mean, if you want to make a story about him, isn't it about John understanding who he is as the Master Chief?
No, dude, it's like a Batman Bruce Wayne thing. You know,
right.
you think he's really Bruce Wayne, but he really is Batman, and Bruce Wayne's the alter ego.
His name is John, but there's really no John underneath
John
the
Halo.
helmet. Like there's just the Master Chief, pretty much.
Yeah, John Master Chief Halo is his full name.
I heard that he
He's
keeps
not
his helmet
afraid of
off
any alien.
a lot, so we can see Pablo's.
I need a Chevy
bright
Tahoe.
face.
Yeah, I always hated that I don't know, justification for actors don't want to wear roles with master hoods because like the whole thing is you're getting the actor for their face, but it's like fuck off, dude.
Well, that's why everyone was so appreciative of or like respectful of Pedro Pascal in The Mandalorian.
Well, I was
Like,
yeah, or what's his name, Carl
dude,
Urban.
I was just about to say that.
Judge
Carl
Dredd.
Urban is Dredd, yeah.
I didn't even
Very
know that
much
was him.
He
for a
doesn't
while.
sound like him at all. Like it's a great actor, dude. He's Dredd. That's a great actor.
Exactly. Yeah, that's lame.
And Pascal is Mandalorian. I totally see that too. Even though I'm not a Star Wars nerd.
Almost like they're gotta rely on their acting and not just their face. Crazy.
Game Pass Ultimate subscribers can get a 30-day trial of Paramount Plus now.
Pass. I don't even want to talk about Pass.
Adding
it'll allow
even more
you to
value
see
to
the
the
Halo
already
show.
infinitely valuable Xbox Game Pass for the PC.
But does anybody here have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate?
I've considered
What
it.
is
Possibly,
the difference
actually.
between Pass and Ultimate?
I believe Ultimate is also like for
The
like
xCloud.
the console, right? Like you get Xbox
Well,
Live
that's-
and
that's
stuff.
the-
or whatever.
that's-
no, it's a version of the PC one you can also get.
Yeah, so
Oh,
that's
okay,
that's
okay.
like that's what it was originally, but the Ultimate has offering us fleshed out. But I've considered subscribing for a month or two because it also gives you limited access to some 360 arcade things that have been ported over to a streaming thing, so you can stream play it. You can only do that
The xCloud.
the xCloud, yeah. And one of those includes like
Alright.
Banjo Kazooie, and I've talked maybe 10 on
Oh,
10 different
shit,
episodes
really?
on 10 different episodes about how the definitive edition of Banjo Kazooie exists on the Xbox 360 arcade, and now the xCloud, which I guess you could play through Ultimate.
Actually, I think you'll find that the definitive edition of Banjo-Kazooie is called MacBat 64, and it's available on itch.io.
Oh, actually, I did miss that comment because
Also known as Jersey Devil.
we were memeing and stuff, but as you were talking, I was googling those things, and MacBat 100% I was going to mention was a Banjo Kazooie thing, or it's like Banjo Kazooie slash their textures look
Conquer.
straight. Well, rare exactly like all their games. I guess.
Rare, yeah, in general.
But like I remember thinking like, oh, this looks like DK64. But anyway, yeah.
Sure.
Well, I mean, I don't. Is there anything on Paramount Plus anyone would recommend? I don't.
The new
Halo
Halo show, John.
I don't.
All I watch
I don't
is
give a
90 Day
fuck,
Job.
dude.
You know, you got the same
think they
name
have
as him,
90.
right? You should care.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, you got me. Oh man. You
All right,
got
John,
me.
I got you. Inscription's Casey's mod is completed. and released.
Casey's mod has got it going on.
I did see that.
Despite the perhaps ambiguous name Casey's mod, it is kind of more like a free DLC to the game, I think.
Yeah, it's an official DLC.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
Because it's in context or in universe. There's a character named Casey who I guess is like has made a mod for the in-universe game Inscription.
I don't think it's spoilers to say that there's one of the developers mentioned in game is Casey, and this is her mod. Yeah.
Sick.
I may have to go back and try it.
I haven't
Not too
tried it
much to say
since I
about it.
saw this. I wonder if there's anything like new about it or fixed about it or anything. It seemed pretty feature complete when I was playing it.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Although I'm watching like the little video they have now on Steam, and it looks like they have added a little bit more.
Huh. I'll have to check it out.
Hidden Door lands $2 million pre-seed funding for social AI narrative platform.
That's all right.
Yeah, that sounds like books.
What's that mean for me, bud? Is that like
I
do
added
your own
this-
adventure?
Because I thought it sounded interesting for us, but specifically for you, Andy.
Yeah, no,
I thought
it is a
like
cool idea.
Thing.
$2 million is not a lot of money to do that with, and
that's just pre-seed
funding,
whatever that means.
It could be very cool if it works.
So what it seems like is it's like a platform for adaptable AI narrated interactive graphic novels.
So you're saying like a more advanced version, like that website you can go now, like that, like make your own adventure thing, or you type in something and like the, you know, like the computer
like
will
AI
spit something
dungeon,
out at you.
that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
AI
AI dungeon, except for, you know, you can get it to like explode on itself easily. Something like that, at least.
Yeah, and it like narrates for you, and it actually like acts as a bit of a DM or something like that. Maybe.
I mean, that is cool.
So who knows what'll come of that? Obviously, you know.
Yeah, it's something to keep an eye on.
Oh, it's very cool. Probably be using the GPT-3 engine. And Plague Tale will be adapted into a TV show. A French director is attached.
Greg
likes that game.
I think this could be cool, and I would probably watch this, but it really depends, dude.
I mean, that game's like narrative heavy, right? I mean, I know there's like gameplay and stuff, but is it a narrative game?
It's
no, there's like moving around, and
there's a lot of moving. It's got narrative, but
it's like a platformer though. Like, there's no combat?
No.
Yeah, there's combat. Yeah, there's combat.
It's not a platformer. It's like a walkie.
It's a walkie game, and you sometimes sneak around, and sometimes you smack lights out of people's hands and get them eaten by rats.
I don't know. So that's the combat.
It's mostly like narrative.
The combat in the game is you just have a sling and you're just spinning rocks and throwing them at lights.
All right, so yeah, it's like mostly you're kind of all right.
Like a little action.
I'm with Vito. It's like a narrative game.
Like an action.
There's potential for a show there. I guess is what I'm saying.
There's always potential.
I was.
It's always different for when the narrative is like meant to be felt in a sense. Like you're the one scared off the rest with the torch in your fingers. You know.
I mean,
and there's a sequel coming out.
There's a sequel to the game. The first game's really, really good. I super recommend it to anybody. I think it'll be good, baby. But who knows?
Everything.
Most TV shows suck.
They do. That's why I think everything hinges on rat tech.
I do need to see the rat tech.
Next 10 years.
Oh yeah, I gotta see that rat tech in the show.
Yeah.
I want to see what the swarms look like. See how those rat kings turn out. If it's bad CGI. I'm not gonna be into it.
Vito will pick up on that.
They could get they could get a real rat trainer and just do all practical effects with real rats. That'd be better.
Are you kidding me with the amount of rats that you would need?
Are rat players still a thing?
It's not Amazon. There's no. Well, I mean, they have to.
No.
Otherwise, they would just take over the city. I mean, if it's not Amazon, they're not putting the rat trainer money into this. You know what I mean? They're not getting.
If it's made by French people.
It's just made by French people. I mean, they got rats too, and their rats. Actually, I'd argue their rats are arguably the most trained rats in the world. I mean, I've seen that
I thought you were going to say the most powerful rats.
Well, in a sense, yeah, because they are more organized. In a sense, they are more powerful.
They also have an older culture.
Well, just if you've seen any like cartoon or movie where there's like
documentary
a rat, they're always French and they're always like playing music and have like a mustache.
Like culture
and
they're
pulling hair to control men.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
nice.
So yeah, okay. All right. You kind of
keep my eye
me on it. Yeah.
As a rat connoisseur,
I would like to see who's gonna play Misia, the main character, and then I think that'll probably decide. Because I want to say
it'll probably be like a French actress, right? It seems like they're going French with this.
Yeah,
probably like some French teenage actress.
I guess. I think if you really wanted to save money,
you'd be, John. You'd be the blacksmith's apprentice.
I'll do it.
Yeah, you'd be the blacksmith apprentice, John. I could see it.
Right.
He's cool.
Okay, I trust you.
He's cool.
I'll do it. I'm in.
You could put a couple hundred rats in a people costume, and you wouldn't even notice.
Are you saying that a group of rats should play the main character who is trying to
I'm just
kill
saying, if
the
you wanted to
rats?
save a lot of money
Right.
and also impress me, you could do the whole show with just
I didn't
rats.
even think about that angle.
I think
Wow.
they did a movie like that. It's called like Ratatouille or something like that.
Well, that was similar.
Yeah, I'm talking
That
about
was- that was
hundreds of rats forming the shape of
Inside
a person,
and
and then
Yeah, you
and
didn't
then
see the director's cut of Ratatouille?
and then-
they all
Well, no, I
and then
didn't.
inside that one
talking
movie?
and all of their little screams being formed into like
Alright.
human
Oh,
words.
see, no, that was even different. I was saying that 100 rats were going to force themselves inside of a person, basically make them like a
God.
meat
Vito,
puppet,
like a
hollow
puppet?
them out.
You have a mental
that's a way to do it.
disorder.
Is that what Batman is?
I like John's idea.
Is that how is that related to Batman?
Oh.
Is this Rats Man?
Toilet sounds.
This
What?
is Rat Man.
Yeah, this rat man. This gonna be maybe in the sequel. I think they're
Yeah.
still in talks.
Hey, what's going on in Phasmophobia?
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Fast forward. They're doing a rework, a VR rework.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess
Dude,
you
that
guys are just
rework
gonna
looks
kind
cool as hell,
of step
dude.
over my thing, but yeah, no, whatever. Phasmophobia shared footage.
Well, this is for VR
of-
folks,
of
you
the
know.
VR overhaul up.
Yeah, this is not your
Do
thing.
you
Yeah, I
guys
don't
even
know
know
if you can
that? Do you
actually
guys even
listen to
know
this.
some of the improvements that were highlighted in the video? Because they include
Yeah, there's a pretty
hand
neat little
posing.
video here.
better item placement on your hip, new hover icons,
Yeah.
poses when selecting and picking up items, grab selection. All memes aside,
Your fingers moving stuff now. I mean, you know, Phasmo did have VR before, but it was. I don't even want to say it was bad, but it was, you know, it was bare bones. Like, you know, your hands kind of floated there. They picked stuff up. It worked though. I mean, I didn't have any complaints.
yeah.
Just,
No, I
game,
can tell
they-
visually, like having not played Phasmo VR, having played it a lot desktop, but having watched you guys played it in VR, like it certainly looks like a smoother, more integrated experience.
Yeah, and see that they've worked on it even more is pretty cool. Actually,
Dude, this is a game we paid $15 for.
I was gonna
Right.
mention.
And-
sorry, go ahead, Vito. Sorry.
sitting overwhelmingly positive reviews. It's been sitting on them for years now, or whatever. When did this game come out? September 18th, 2020. Dude, I mean the changes that they keep coming out with, it's like, man, I've gotta
there's
have a lot of
stuff
respect
we
for the
haven't even
developer.
seen.
'Cause-
Yeah, like I was just watching
yeah.
this video. He lit like a fucking little pentagram there and like summoned the ghost.
That's the other thing I was going
Yeah.
to mention. I can't remember. It's probably on their Trello, but somebody was talking about some of the changes just in general to the game, not just VR folk. And it sounded a little bit like they were learning from their competitors maybe and adopting some of Forewarn
Yes.
stuff like equipment leveling.
crossing out names.
Yeah, crossing out names, equipment leveling.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
Even the waist, I don't know, the little belt kind of reminded me. I was like, oh, it kind of looks more. I don't know. It's reminding me of Forewarn.
Which I
I
think
don't
is the
know.
right, well,
Competition.
yeah, it's the right move for them to do because those games ultimately have kind of different vibes. But Forewarn came out a year after Phasmo, and yeah, there were some things in Forewarn that you're like, man, this is just straight better than Phasmo, or like more interesting, you know, like the
Yeah, I
item
think
levels
they're
and that kind
they're
of
definitely growing off of each other. You know,
Yeah.
if there wasn't a Phasmo, there might not have been a Forewarned. You know, 'cause they're certainly, you know, similar in
Yeah.
you know, obviously four guys going and exploring. And then yeah, it came out with some better ideas, and yeah, it seemed like Phasmo's kind of adapting. And I mean, and Forewarn's still getting updates too, so it's cool to see
yeah.
both of them
Uh,
grow.
and-
We haven't played as much Phasmo recently, but
And both those games were
I'm definitely down to try it.
cheap
again.
as dirt.
Yeah. Crazy.
Incredibly cheap for the experience they offer. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, I'm actually the Trello link is in the bottom of that link that you paid for Phasmo. And yeah, they still have tons more things on the backlog. They have this whole thing called Horror 2.0.
I think that I think Horror 2.0 is supposed. I don't want to pair. This is hearsay. I think I saw a developer post that Horror 2.0, when they consider that finished, they consider the game in 1.0. So like,
Yeah, I believe that.
I
Right
think
now
I did
it
hear
says-
that. I think I saw that also. Yeah.
Under the descriptions, it says like new ghost events, ghost event overhaul, hallucinations, new death rooms, new death animations,
and
sound overhauls, and new ghost models. I mean, it seems
None
like
of
a
that's
pretty,
been done
and-
yet. So they're
yeah.
at zero.
and they describe it as something that's going to be like each update is going to have a little bit of Horror 2.0 in it until it's finally done.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with that. The game's already in, like, I think, a pretty solid condition, and all the upgrades sound sick. I'm excited for this equipment rework. Where the equipments have like levels and stuff or upgrades.
Yeah.
They have a whole roadmap here too on the top.
Oh yeah.
Custom games might be kind of fun to fuck around with. Disable flashlights.
Oh yeah, I can't remember when I read that, but yeah, just like a bunch of crazy options, like you can change your starting sanity or like how much it rises, and the ghosts are crazy or not from the very beginning, or pretty much every little variable. Yeah, you'll be able to change. I can't remember where I read that, somewhere in the Steam.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I found it pretty cool.
I know. I think also mentioned recently, this is something we've been asking for forever, is 2 ghosts, but I think they came out and said straight up it's not going to happen because it just required too many resources or something, or too hard to make.
Well, I mean, it's a huge balancing thing, right? Because like you have all this evidence and shit. Like how can you possibly communicate to players like what evidence goes where?
Like say which 2, how to separate, and that, I mean, and we haven't played in a while, but I know last time we did play, we got our fucking asses whooped, and they've added harder difficulty, which I don't think we played, so it's not like there was a point where the game was too easy. Like we'd walk in there, like, all right, we're done, walk out.
Yeah, and that's when we were asking for the 2 ghosts thing.
Yeah.
And that's right. Yeah. It was a difficulty thing mainly. We were like, oh, if there's 2 ghosts, maybe it'll be harder. Now we don't need that. It's very hard, very very hard.
I saw here that they're doing a level wipe at some point. It's part of their progression update, which I think is the right move.
Yeah,
I'm like level 110.
I don't even know what my level is, but yeah.
Which I don't think it matters. Well, okay, it does matter, I think, for item upgrades, because I think that those are going to be gated by level.
Right.
Anyway,
they should add a mode where it's no harder than usual, except there's like another human there who is like allies with the ghost, and he's trying to like stop you. He's trying to like prevent you from figuring out the ghost.
It's pretty funny. Some of the maps are pretty small. It's just the dude on the couch. He's like, "Hey, get out!
Get out of my
This is my house.
Stay away from my beautiful ghost wife."
But this is our house.
A new Witcher game is officially in development. Using
not just a game; it's a whole saga that they are in development now.
I guess that is the news, and as well that is going to be using Unreal Engine 5. I guess Cyberpunk pretty much killed the Red Engine.
They could go no further in that direction, down that path.
I mean, it's cool, but we're not going to see this until like 2025, 26 or something, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they're just showing this, so they're like, guys, we're not dead, I swear. We're starting to work on stuff.
I don't think that anything about Cyberpunk necessarily affects how I feel about this, which is that I imagine it's going to be a great game. Witcher is their wheelhouse. You know what I mean? That's
they never let us down with the Witcher series.
like they literally like they know Witcher, and clearly shining through their games is a passion about like the game and the folklore and all that. And they've always said that The Witcher 3 was not the last Witcher game. Like they said that as much as soon as it came out. It was clearly the last game in the Geralt story, astute fans have noted that the medallion
in
is
the
a
teaser
lynx,
image,
which is not a school that we're familiar with. Though some fans are saying that perhaps it's part of the school of the cat. I think it is 100% just more likely a school we're not familiar with. Which I think that, Flask, you know much more about the lore than I do. I think that there is space for schools we don't know about, right?
I don't remember.
Like,
I don't remember.
I'm going to step up and say, the world's a pretty big place.
Like,
it is.
I know that I saw one.
Thanks,
I saw
John.
one person point out that, and I didn't remember this at all. That Geralt learns about the school of the Manticore in Blood and Wine, and apparently people really like that.
Okay, sure.
Either way,
yeah.
this it doesn't need to stick to any source or anything. I think it could be cool.
If I had been told that they were making more Witcher games, I would have just automatically assumed that you were going to be playing a Ciri. But if that's not the case, then they're just going in like a whole new direction. I at least hope that it's not like, I don't know. Everything lives long enough to see itself become the villain, right? So all I hope is that it's not like, doesn't get too full of itself in some way, or it doesn't get like weird about its lore and its in-universe like consistency. I hope it actually sticks by its solidity as a coherent universe. You know what I mean? That it doesn't try to just go all crazy with it.
Well, I 100%. I don't know if this is what you mean, but I 100% expect to see things like Ciri as the Empress. You know what I mean?
Could happen.
If that's what you're talking about.
Not specifically.
Sort of books.
The games
are sequels to the books.
The games are sequels to the books.
They're based off,
but
books.
they're not.
They're essentially fan fiction.
Yeah, they are not.
Well, that was
the
my
narratives
question.
are not narratives explored in the books. They're sequels to the books using the characters from the book.
So they've already proved that they can write,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That this is right in their wheelhouse.
Okay.
And I think Cyberpunk was written very well. It was all.
Hey, you know me, dude. I didn't have
know,
Cyberpunk. I got my time.
It was the huge technical limitations, really, that in the marketing weirdness, but it was at its core, it was a solid RPG, and I think that The Witcher will be as well.
Yeah, they really should. I was watching a video today about water in games and how different games have done it, and they just use Cyberpunk as an example of just games that have just fucking shit looking water. It does. It looks like fucking dog doo-doo, and it doesn't interact with anything. It's just fucking so shit.
Man,
didn't they even improve the water at one point?
Oh, is that one of the things they did in the update?
I think it might have been.
This video was a little bit older. This was probably before that, but it was gross looking.
With some I gotta say, we brought it up now. I have not played that game since we all played it on launch. I've been tempted to. We've talked about that before. This latest update has got me kind of turned around on the idea that it might be a better game someday. Because that update seemed to be pretty cool. People seemed to like it. It addressed a lot of the things that I didn't think were easy to address that I had problems with. I'm kind of excited to see if they actually deliver on the promise of fixing that game.
Yeah.
I just want to say one more thing about The Witcher is that they did express that it would not be exclusive to any storefront or whatever. So even though it's using Unreal Engine, they're not going to be EGS exclusive or anything.
Oh, right on.
They said straight out it won't be EGS.
They that's the second link there, the tweet.
Yeah, they need all the money they can fucking get, dude.
Hey, friends, get ready to go fast in your Xbox game experiences with these two furry controllers representing Sonic, voiced by Ben Schwartz, and Knuckles, voiced by Idris Elba.
Sorry, did you say furry controllers? Did you say is that controllers with fur?
Yeah, dude, it's so disgusting.
Furry.
You spill fucking one soda. All right, we'll never use this again because it's just disgusting.
Cheeto
mess.
dusty hands, dude.
Yeah, sweaty hands.
It's gotta be matted. It's gotta be a wrap.
Together over the past 20 years,
you just take
Xbox and Sonic have been storied part of how gaming has evolved in the most popular form of entertainment.
Throw in the washing machine?
Yeah, that's what I think. Or at least that's what I thought when B-Man was talking about it.
Or you could take it to...
Some Sonic fans can explore some of the iconic zones of the franchise, like the Green Hills Zone, with the Sonic the Hedgehog Minecraft DLC available for download in the Minecraft Marketplace. With 24 themed Minecraft skins to try out, achievements to unlock, and characters to meet, players can collect rings and speed toward a high score as their favorite hedgehog.
Dude, you do collect rings in Sonic. That's part of it.
You vacuum it until you, like I said, though, what do you get soda on it, dude? Then you're fucked.
Don't forget to check out Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in theaters in the United States on April 8th, 2022.
Oh my god.
I can't think of the last time I spilled soda on my controller, but for kids, it happens.
Even just your finger, natural
I'm
oils.
constantly eating.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
games,
you get matted or something for sure. Just eat some pizza, touch a controller.
Yeah, but if you get a little something on it, you could just take little scissors and just like cut it off.
Yeah, it'll grow
Groom the
back.
controller.
Cut that
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. Yeah, it's like a controller, but it's also like a little like a haircut pet. You know, you style it.
Yeah, you brush it.
Bro,
Yeah,
I don't
and
want
when
to.
it's done, go
comb
buy
it.
it.
Why
I don't
didn't no one
wanna
ever think
freak
of
anyone
marketing this
out.
to children before?
Like, I'm not trying to meme here. I could have sworn I
Guys-
saw my controller move. Like it was.
Guys,
I woke up and I could have sworn I left my controller in a different place.
give me a moment, guys. I gotta comb the Cheeto dust out of my controller before I get on.
No, down, Sonic, down.
It's like a chia pet where it keeps growing so that you never.
Yeah.
So
Surely that
Sonic.
people are just collecting these and not gonna use. You know,
You can start
like,
braiding
collecting
it.
this.
Well,
You can hang it
hopefully
from
that
your
is the main thing.
hang it from your rear view mirror. It's kind of a cool
Like
little,
fuzzy dice.
So when you get into a car accident, the controller fucking slams into the car in front
Slams,
of you.
yeah.
Like a missile.
It cracks you right in the head.
You know what's funny?
You remove all the components.
I have this article open on my Chrome. We're at the end of the news that we had planned. And I have this article that I didn't end up throwing in the docket. Please let me just exit to the desktop is the title of it. And it's like about how
Oh, I saw that.
games don't just have a natural exit desktop function, which like whatever. I always just Alt F4. So it's one of those things where I must have surprised to see that there's a strong reaction to this. Like, oh hell yeah, but it's like it's never really been a problem for me.
Oh, I'm there 100%.
I'm fine with Alt F4.
I
That is, like,
could
one of
have.
my biggest.
I
pet
could have-
peeves. Elden Ring has that. I think
That's Alt
Yakuza
F4.
had
I Alt
that.
F4 every fucking game.
I
Like,
know.
why does it matter?
I know, but it's
Yeah,
like I feel like they're trying to get one over on me. Like, oh, he thinks he's quitting. Let's bring him back to the main menu and see if he just continues to play. If he gets so
Look at its
frustrated,
failure.
he
Like,
just
it's one last,
he just starts
maybe it'll
playing
come back.
again.
Yeah.
I can't possibly
like, what
believe
are
it's
you
that.
doing?
I feel like I don't even know why it's like that. Like why would you
There's
design
no
the
other
game
reason
not to have a
other
quitting
than
function?
they're trying to trick you into keep playing it. I
Yeah,
don't
I'll
know.
give you another twist
Doesn't
on
make
it though, right?
sense.
Red Dead, if you hit Alt F4, it will not close the game down. It'll bring up a menu and say, "Are you sure you want to quit?" And that
Yeah.
drives me crazy every time. I didn't hit those two buttons to be asked. I hit them to close the game.
I almost think Deep Rock's like that too, or some game I was playing recently is like that. Might be Deep Rock.
The other thing is when
Oh,
those games when they have pop-ups like that, when it defaults to the no option. So if you're if you're clicking through, slamming through, it goes back because you hit no.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Andy, I actually did read this article and I considered putting it on our agenda for this episode or last episode. I forget when it came out. But I didn't because I knew exactly what you would say before you said it. I was like, he's going to just say, I've never had a problem with this. I have always Alt F4.
Works for me, bud.
No, you know what it is though? Because like
How
for
many
instance, in
stories
Elden
do you
Ring,
filter
I
based
don't
on my reductive response?
Maybe more
I
than
don't
we
know.
think.
I don't know exactly like how the save system in Elden Ring works because I'm a little stupid, but I know that it definitely saves when you quit because it says save and quit.
Right.
So I'm not gonna Alt F4. I'm gonna press quit to the main menu, or it doesn't say to the main menu. I don't think it just quit, and then it puts me to the fucking main menu, and then I have to Alt F4. That's how I leave Elden Ring.
I'm pretty sure
quit,
annoying, yeah.
quit, and then Alt
I'm
F4.
pretty sure it also saves every time you rest at a bonfire and maybe every time you jump off your horse. So I always just go to a bonfire.
Yeah, but what if it
Yeah,
doesn't?
I'm sure,
though?
but what if it doesn't though?
What if
Exactly.
it doesn't?
I'm not gonna leave that up to chance.
I know,
So,
dude. Souls
does it
Souls,
do that-
Souls games save so obsessively so that you can't fucking like save scum that I literally have never
Yeah.
worried about it with Elden Ring. I have never once considered the ramifications of just slamming Alt F4.
I didn't really think about that either.
Like,
I forget.
Like
Does it
fucking-
do that that Mr. Rossetti warning message whenever you come back after having Alt F4 the game last time? Does it like warn you
it
like,
does.
oh, you didn't shut it
does.
off properly?
Yeah, every
Elden-
time.
Okay.
Ring? Yeah.
Every
it
So
does.
that's just another screen to click through that's also annoying.
Yeah, so you're fucked either way. You fucked
My
both
favorite
ways.
is that happened to me
both ways.
once, like when the game forced me into the main menu because the servers went down. I had to click through that message. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Uh-huh.
The game may not have
They
closed
really gotta put the
properly.
screws to you, dude.
It's one of those things that doesn't matter, and yet it's like, why is it the way it is? because there's no
I
reason
think it's
for it.
just.
Who designed the UI for Elden Ring?
I honestly think
God.
it's just a problem that nobody thought to solve. Plus, like the idea of like, oh well, what if we put in a button here and people accidentally close the game when what they really meant to do was to go look at the extras page to see the credits.
Yeah.
All right.
Some games have a quit to main menu or quit to
main
desktop
menu and
function.
quit game. Those are two different options that you do to
Right.
do.
Yeah,
two
no,
different
you're right.
functions.
Actually, that's the way it should be done.
Why do most games start and the volume is so loud it could shatter your ears?
It's a good
Why
question
doesn't
too.
anybody think like, why don't we just make it quieter, and if they want it louder, they can
I
turn it up?
actually think
That's why I always
this is a
appreciate games that
standard-
start at like
Now we're getting
75%
to the meat
volume.
and potatoes.
I'm like, oh, nice.
I've this is so ubiquitous that I've formed. I'm like 50% on this. A theory that it's just part of the standard way the games are packaged, where it doesn't load the user configs until the main menu has finished loading.
Oh, that makes me even angrier because there are
Mm.
some games. There are some games that do from the very beginning, but there are definitely games because I always have mine turned way down. I can just fucking tell when it's loading. I'm like, logo, and then just all of a sudden, just
Yeah,
and it's just like
exactly.
really quiet.
Exactly.
Like, why did you wait
That's
so long?
more games than not, in my opinion. That
Definitely. I hate it.
And that also very much ties into games that don't let you even touch the configuration until you've played a little bit of the game.
oh, that's the worst. That's the fucking worst.
Whoa.
At any
Or
Oh,
games that don't let you unless you're in the main menu. Like if you got in the game, like you can't fuck with
Yeah.
stuff anymore.
or like games that don't let you in a cutscene. I don't give a fuck like what time it is. If I want to turn on subtitles, if I want to lower the volume, if I want to change my resolution, I should be able to fucking do that.
At any time, yeah.
I hate video games. I think
Video games
Hey,
suck.
video
Let's make
games are
let's make
done
this
with them.
podcast about video game adaptations only.
All right. First off, Disco Elysium. We're gonna spitball. What's the idea? What's the premise? Episode 1, pilot.
Well, they're making one, so we can
But
see.
they are
pretty
making a
soon.
show.
Yeah. Well, what is it?
Yeah, we're just gonna wait. Oh, they're just gonna disco.
Yeah, it's actually about dance.
It's Disco Elysium Teens.
They're gonna make it into like a Hangover style like comedy.
Yeah, Disco Elysium is the name of the club
You don't
at which
remember
they all
like you know
congregate.
you don't remember what you did last night or why you can't remember things. But then fucking your buddy Kim comes and he's missing a tooth.
With Paul Rudd as Harry Dubois.
You know, you say that as a complete joke, and yet
I'm sorry.
I would like to see Paul Rudd as Harry. I would like to see that, please.
I think Paul Rudd could do the range. Well,
Anywho, I'm about to quit this podcast to desktop.
Yeah.
good night, everybody.
No, it'll take you back to main
Thank you
menu.
for joining
and
us.
You'll have to connect to the internet again.
Stay tuned for a little bit of Elden Ring coming up soon. Vito, you're like 60 hours in. We'll probably have an Elden Ring pod in 2-ish weeks, maybe. No, I'm not gonna put you on the spot.
Are you waiting on me for that one?
I don't think necessarily it's time sensitive when we do that pod. I mean, Elden Ring, I think it's gonna stay hot for a while. We've already got so.
I think we were just waiting for everyone to feel like they're ready. Like to have no one being like, I'm not ready yet. You know?
Yeah, and Vito, if you don't want to be part of that pod, we'll go on without you. But I figured you might want to. So.
Oh no,
Um,
no, I just didn't. I don't want to hold anybody back, but no, I'm down.
It's
Hey,
just.
I got a lot more free
I think
time
more than
coming up,
once we've
so.
had fun, unfortunate situations. Rarely where people have great thoughts on a thing, but they didn't experience the thing, and they were maybe just a week late. You know, I want to avoid that here.
Sure.
So stay tuned for that. Check
You
out
could have a.
Flask and John's MacBat.
MacBat?
Yeah, MacBat
Yeah.
64 podcast. They went into full spoiler
Can't
territory.
fucking wait.
It's coming out on the HBO streaming
It's
next
gonna be
month.
so good.
What were you saying, Flask, before I cut you off the plug?
Oh, we'll have an Elden Ring episode for the four of us, and then a separate Elden Ring video for Vito. It's just him.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say for John.
No, John's part of our episode, and then Vito gets his own episode solo.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you guys think that Vito's gonna have a tough time killing Linger the Seven Finger?
Did you have to let it linger? You have to let it linger.
Well, I wasn't gonna spoil Minor 49er, but yeah, that's second phase of Linger's Seven Finger.
He's already fought MacBat. It's true.
I have fought MacBat.
Yeah. He's fought MacBat.
I fought MacBat multiple times.